Welcome to the Late Night with Chalky podcast.
Friends and family, brothers and sisters, welcome to the Late Night with Chalky podcast.
Long time coming. We've been hitting them up. We've been seeing them at events, at all the contests, but no, we're stoked to sit down with this Hawaii surfer, dude. Hawaiian. Have a beach,
yeah.
That's where he grew up. He's been in the lineup and competing since 8 against some of the heaviest in his generation that have gone on to win world titles and just tour and everything. But you know, he followed all of his peers, made it onto the tour in 2015, and came out with a win pretty quick, right? Year two?
Yeah, year 2 came out to win.
Which is incredible because there's people that spend fucking years and they never come away with a win. But you won at the Quiksilver Pro.
France?
Yep, in France, and you took out some heavy hitters, Gabriel, Slater, John.
Yeah, it was a pretty unique experience. Like the long story of it is it's so funny because like the rookie year on tour, like I remember like setting my goals like, oh, I want to be a top 10, you know. And then when I like got my ass kicked like my whole rookie season, I was like, oh gosh, let me just see if I can requalify, you know. That was like the goal.
So heavy.
Yeah.
That was before mid-year.
Yeah. This was before they had a mid-year cut, so they give you a whole year. And I was getting my ass kicked, and I was like, this is hard. This is really hard, you know. And you have to, when you're like a rookie, you're like facing like the McFannings, the guys that are like just coming off the top seeds.
You're going up against the
the guys that are seasoned and they're just like so primed and ready just to like fresh meat, you know?
Yeah, you just hope to get through that first year or two so you bump up in the ratings.
Yeah.
So you're not going against top 5 in every heat.
Yeah. So you'd have to like definitely try to hit, you know, one of those big dogs and like try to make it like crack, you know, the 9th place round or the quarterfinals to kind of get yourself out of that like bottom bracket.
We're gonna go deep into that victory story, but
he's had multiple wins on the QS, Barbados, Virginia Beach, our own HB, his local break, Alamoana Bulls, and I don't even know, a few more, Australia, elsewhere. I checked his stats on WSL. He has quite a few wins, which is epic. But aside from that, his biggest and proudest accomplishments is off this competition stage is getting married. He's got a family, 2 young kids. Congrats.
Thank you.
His wife's a UFC fighter. Was.
Yeah.
You better stay.
That is bizarre.
Caitlin
awesome.
Curran.
Yeah.
You better be minding your P's and Q's over there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm the professional.
But we'll hear about that, which is awesome because that's 2 dynamic industries in the competitive world, which is awesome. And today he's giving back all of his knowledge, passion, and wisdom to the next generation of rippers. He's part of the Billabong family. We'll hear all about that, but we're just stoked to sit down with the legendary, awesome, and I don't even know if you have a nickname.
You have a nickname?
No, just...
No nickname?
No, bro.
Okay.
Just...
Keanu Asing. Yeah. He's got to have a nickname. We'll find one.
Your friends never gave you a little fucking...
No, I mean... I don't know. They
Parents?
call me whatever. They just...
Okay, we'll find one.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay,
there's one.
You guys can come up with one and then let it stick.
So, dude, honestly, when you're talking about the win and getting on the CT, that alone, making the CT is such a fucking gnarly accomplishment.
Huge.
Because, professional surfing, it's a big deal, and there's hundreds of thousands to millions of wannabe pro surfers in this world, right?
Yeah.
It's a big number, but a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, even just on the rankings, there's like, I don't know, like thousands, right?
For sure.
But then there's how much people that are like dreaming of doing that. You know?
Yeah.
So it's insane, and like, I think overall, like, I'm so, like, the gratitude I have to actually live my dream and like to do it and travel the world and surf the best waves, like, to me, that is just like the biggest blessing I've ever experienced in my life, and it took me to like kind of step away from it to like appreciate it even more, and it was so much dedication, so much sacrifice, and just to like trying to achieve a goal like that is insane, you know. And I watched the newer generation, you know, attack the QS and the Challenger Series, and you know, make their way on the CT, and it's cool because like I got to experience it, and like I would always like want to make sure like if anybody like had you know, or needed advice, I would like gladly like give it to them, you know, because I felt like my career like on the tour was, I had like the highest highs and the lowest lows and the in-betweens, and like surfing against this guy or surfing against that guy, and to me it's like experience that like I can never purchase, you know. It's something that I got to experience like firsthand and really walk through it and achieve it. So it's really
amazing,
fun.
man.
And that's crazy as the roller coaster, you know. And we you know, we talk to a lot of pro surfers, and you know, we go into some competitive like detail, but it's the highs and lows, like you say, is what, you know, makes you stronger. It's so crazy how hard it is to stay consistent, you know, even for the top guys. Like, you know, everybody ebb and flows with, you know, whether it's the personal life that's going well or bad, you know, there's so many things pulling you in different directions, contracts up, or, you know.
And it's
tough.
It's tough, and there's so much stuff to really balance in your life, like being a professional surfer and like trying to be on the tour competitive. Like when you're competing, you're like trying to find every bit of, you know, every ounce of like what makes you better, every little margin that makes yourself better. If there's a little piece of wax on the bottom, whatever it is, like you're doing that, you know.
Superstition routines,
all the things come up short. It's like the most like defeating thing, because you put every bit of yourself to like win, and that's what you're driven to do. But you know, in professional surfing, you're really gonna like lose way more than you win. And once you wrap your mind around like learning how to lose, that's to me is the way you're gonna learn how to win. Because if you can't like take a loss and like understand or digest like, okay, here's what I can do better, or if you're just gonna melt down and not like, you know, accept any knowledge from it, it's really hard to move forward, you know?
To be a professional contest competitive surfer, to me, we talk about it a lot, is like there's no other sport that is this hard. You know, because it's not a sport, it's more of like performance, and the way that the changing fucking things, conditions, elements,
like
size.
When you think about surfing, like compared to basketball, you're shooting a basketball. That's
competitive.
Hard. That's hard. But like they're not dealing with wind, rain. Like in surfing, everything is against you, and it's just you can control only a few things: your time and like your wave selection and your maneuver choice. There's only a few things that you can really manage on your own, and everything else is against you. The judges, the conditions, the tide, the competitors. You know, so it's a really like complex like kind of competition.
There's so much more that's. Like you said, you can't control that stuff, where the other sports, you know, it's stick, it's a ball, it's a team, it's in a
controlled environment almost, like for the most part.
A static environment where it's always that way. You know, and the rules stay the same pretty much, you know what I mean? Like with surfing, there's so many things that
so subjective.
Will throw the kitchen, you know, like a wrench in your program. You know, like you said, the wax on the bottom of the board. Like, fuck, that affected my performance today. You know,
funny, you know, the best one to me is like it's classic when guys are preparing for the contest or heat, the paddling out, they lose the heat and they're just punching their board, break their board or whatever. I'm like, dude, you like thought you were gonna win the contest on that board, and then you come in and you blame the board. Like that to me is just like the most funniest one. You know,
or
like,
was that board not good enough? Why would you?
First place?
Yeah, why would you trash a board that's?
Magic.
Save your magic boards for those type of moments.
And
why would you destroy it?
I
don't know.
The best one I've seen though was Mick Fanny. He came in from a heat in Portugal, and I was heat like after him, and he lost his heat. He walked up the beach, pulled the leash out, rolled it up, gave it to a kid, handed the board to like one of the kids. I was like, that is the best thing ever. Instead of breaking it, you just like made that kid's life. He's so stuck.
You took your frustrations and made it rewarding.
And that's why like to me like there's a few guys like in that generation, in that era, like Mick Fanning and Joel Parkinson, the Hawkins. I have never experienced the more down to earth, like real ass people. Like they're like the best people. Like real people that are good. Down to earth, the best people I know.
They have their bad days, but But
For
for the
sure.
most part,
Dude, we're humans.
yeah, the best dudes are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right?
They're the coolest, and they're just not too cool. They're
Except for
just,
Kelly.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, in the contest days, losing, it's going to bring out the worst in people, you know?
Yeah.
And no matter who it is, but it's like you said, how to handle losing is going to make you a better competitor, a better person, a better winner, better everything.
And not to pick on Kelly, but what's your thoughts on if he would have stayed on Channel Islands?
Yeah.
How many more world titles could have you found?
I know, right? I don't know, man. I really like his program with the Slater designs and everything, and I just feel like
I think it's just we know him from a different era on those boards.
Because going back to the psychology of it all, right? Like having the Quick logo on the nose of your board for all those years, and having the hexagons on your board for all those years, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's a confidence. Yeah.
all that
comfort.
stuff like sits on your psyche. I win on this, I win on this.
yeah.
And dude, he's a freak of nature, but 12
Yeah, I think to
is so
me-
much better than 11.
Yeah. And I think like it goes to a point where like, you know, when making his boards, he became a lot more involved in what the shape is going to look
Yeah.
like and this kind of stuff. And when you have different kitchen tools, you start to make all kinds of recipes, you know.
Yeah.
And I think when
This
you're
guy's good, dude.
when you're at a restaurant, they have the menu set out for you, you know.
Well,
and I think
Yeah.
the Merrick's just really built something towards him, you know. And I feel like the race car driver is not gonna go and be a mechanic, you know. You have your mechanics to make sure you can go race fast, you know.
Yeah.
And it could be totally all kinds of different strategies or what.
He was
but-
coming out with some weird shit under Channel Islands.
Yeah.
Board wise,
But
you
the
know.
show is not about Kelly.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, for
Keanu,
sure.
take us back to Hawaii and where it all started.
Yeah, for me, like, you know, growing up in Hawaii, you're surrounded by the ocean, you know, and my dad wasn't really like a professional surfer or anything. My mom wasn't. So my dad just really loved the ocean. So he took me and my sister down to go surf at Haleiwa, you know, the little whitewater at Haleiwa. That's like kind of where I learned how to surf.
It's the
It's
jam.
a dangerous place to learn.
Yeah, but it was small.
No,
Like,
they're reform when
and
it's
the only reason why I wanted to surf was because all the other kids were surfing, you know, and I thought that was the best thing because I wouldn't just go grab a board and go surf, you know, and I seen the other kids doing it, and then, you know, eventually just surfing in Eva Beach down at Hallbush was like another place that I really learned how to.
Eva's like east side or west side?
It's
or-
not southwest,
South.
so it's just if you're driving towards the west side, it's like the first cutoff if you're before you head to the west side. So, you know, it's considered like South Shore, but on the other side of town, so the west side of town. But, you know, and then as I got older, you know, the waves in like towards Ala Moana and Kewalos was kind of like the other timing of like us growing up and surfing. You know, we had a crazy amount of talent like at Kewalos. Like every day it was like sparring, you know, and that was like when we were like 10,
What
11,
was your first
12 years
board?
old. First board I had was from my dad's really close friend, Trinco Herrera. He's from Puerto Rico, but he made me a 5'6", little short board. His board's just Trinks. And he actually shaped Kelly's boards at Sunset a few years ago. He's been shaping boards for Kelly a little bit lately. So he made me my first ever surfboard. And
What's
then
his name?
Trinco Herrera.
Trinco.
Yeah, from Puerto Rico. He shapes a lot of boards in Puerto Rico and he sends them there. He lives in Oahu, but sends boards all over. So it's a smaller brand, but he just loves to shape boards. And he was like my really close friend, and he shaped me my first board. And,
That's killer.
And then Carl Shopper started shaping my boards as a young kid because he knew how to make like these little crafts, you know, these small
little.
4.2s and 4.1s. Like
So
little,
first one 5'6", learn how to catch waves,
Yeah.
ride, and then it's like then you start.
Yeah, and I was like kind of like trying to do turns, but the board is a little bit too big. So then, you know, I'm smaller. Still small, so it's like.
So is Lyndon, but he's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
little wider than you though.
So it was, you know, it was good. And then Carl Shopper made me a lot of boards as a young kid. And then Wade Tokoro started shaping my boards from when I was 9 years old. And still to this day, I still get Tokoro boards. So
Sick.
it's like
Who was your
That's
first sponsor?
Locomotion. And they're like still sponsoring me. For some reason, they still like me. I don't know. I don't
That is
feel like I
rad.
surf enough to like give them my best. But yeah, they still support me. And they're literally like my backbone to like the support system I have, you know, ever since I was 9 years old. They just
And how did
continue to
that
support me with
sponsorship
surfboards.
start?
It started from my dad, like helping them with their surf team, and getting distributing boards to the team riders, and getting them ordered or whatever. Just kind of help facilitate, like just.
Is your dad? He wasn't a pro surfer.
No,
but he's a frother surfer like us.
Just love to surf, and then we're good friends with Bongo Perkins, and he like we were just at the beach and just kind of like fell into my dad's lap to like help locomotion and Hawaiian style at the time, and yeah, it ended up being just ignited something to like help like for the surfers around Hawaii, and ended up I became a surfer that loved to surf, and it helped me along the way too.
Locomotion, TNC, HIC. I mean, you're going to be in one of those camps as a
right
a kid or a surfer.
Yeah.
And what's so radical is those are like born Hawaiian brands, but they're like the coolest global brand. Us kids in California. Like when we got our hands on, because they didn't have a lot of those like T-shirts and boards and stuff. And we got Locomotion T or TNC T, we were fucking so stoked as a kid.
And it's like their logos are just so iconic, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's rad. Like I want to fucking wear that.
That and Sex Wax. I just remember like the graphics as a kid being like, just beyond pumped.
So were you surfing contests early? Or?
I was doing a little bit of contests. Like in Hawaii, we have these two events, and it's like our biggest event. So it was the Rail Sun Menehune at Makaha, and the other one was the Haleiwa Menehune at Haleiwa. So it was like, one time of the year you go to Haleiwa and you surf that Menehune contest, and literally every kid from every nook and cranny of Hawaii is there to go surf the contest.
All kids from other islands, everybody?
Sometimes all the kids from all the other islands would come too, but you could do, and all of us would, shortboard, longboard, boogie board, we did it all. Yeah. And you walk away with the hugest goodie bags full of like...
Is that a one-day event too?
It was a whole weekend. So it was a two-day event.
So
all weekend long, and it's like you just catch up with all your best friends, and
those events are still going strong.
Yeah. They have the Haleiwa Menehune coming up very soon. I think this month or next month. So it'd be like.
And then you had HASA or.
We had HASA, and HASA was like our amateur, like kind of learning how to like properly compete. They have a better structure on competition and trying to elevate like your strategy or your performance wise. Like that was like HASA and NSSA were those two kind of amateur events where all the best kids would be doing those events. And that's kind of where we cut our teeth and try to learn how to compete really.
Was there any coaches like affiliated with those programs, or did you guys have that at your
Not
age?
necessarily. Like you would definitely have people like giving you guidance and stuff like that. Like there was these guys that like were just so.
Because I'm wondering when that kind of came into play, where it's like, I'm old and there was really none of it.
Reynolds Hayes, Dave Riddle, and Donald Pahia were like the people like on the beach.
If you're part of the brand,
But you know what? Those guys like typical Hawaii style, like they help whoever.
Everybody.
Like, they just love and just like.
That's cool. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Your dad is kind of known for taking kids under their wing.
Yeah, and that was like kind of like our whole lives were just like always like taking care of. Like in Hawaii, you go to the beach one day and you're coming back with a couple other kids, and my friends want to sleep over. Like, can they sleep over? Yeah, okay. We take them, feed them, and like whatever. And then some kids like they had a little rougher upbringing, and like we ended up like taking them in and housing them for a little while. Like Sheldon Paishan was one of those kids.
I think we talked about that when we had him on a while back.
Oh yeah. And he
mentioned your dad.
And my dad just
you guys were a little bit sparring partners too.
Yeah, it was like perfect for me because I was like, oh, perfect. He surfs really good, and it ended up being perfect.
Yeah.
And then I would give him my boards, and then he beat me. So I was like, wait, Dad, you're giving him too much stuff. You're giving him new boardies, new boards. Like,
this is cool, but it's gonna ruin our friendship.
Yeah. No, it was great, and like I'm just just to see like Sheldon, who he is today, it really feels good to know that there was a portion of his life that we got to be a part of and help him, and along the way, I think that just speaks more volume into like what life's all about, and like surfing brought us together, and it's like it's cool.
Yeah. That's we all know Hawaii's the mecca of surf, like worldwide, and there's so much youth and family, and you're all watermen, but it's still really hard to climb out to be a pro there. we're spoiled here because a lot of companies are in California and the waves aren't as good. But I mean, it's hard anywhere. But you think Hawaii, it's like, oh, you rip, it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Easier because you're there, but it's not the case. It's so hard.
It's tricky because there is so much talent, and it's the world stage for big wave surfing, right? But you're right. It's like there's not a lot of world tour surfers that come out of Hawaii. There's fucking gnarly people that come out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
But that part of it,
it's a challenging thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like now more than ever, there's like more good surfers.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like there's so much good equipment out there. There's so much people that love to surf, and I feel like there's so many good surfers. You go in the water and like everybody can surf.
Yeah.
And you're like, geez, like when did this happen? Like how does everybody surf good? And unfortunately, there's only like a limited amount of space that kind of like can survive in a competitive environment, or can even support themselves through like a competition lifestyle. It's a very expensive lifestyle too. So the support needs to be.
And that's where it comes. We've talked about this in other areas. Is like, say you have, let's just say, 10 incredible kids in Hawaii, same age, same group. They're not, Quiksilver, Volcom, Maruka, or Billabong, or Rip Curl. They're not going to go grab 4 kids. They're going to pick their 1 or 2, and then once those get gobbled up, like who those brands are investing in, there's another tier or a couple people that have to go with smaller brands, and that's where the finances or the support system gets really kind of like, inhibits a lot of talent from emerging.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Like even when I was younger, like to be honest, like I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the most, I wasn't the best guy coming out of Hawaii or like anything like that, So to me, it was like very just hardworking, and my parents were like in total support of what I wanted to do. And as long as I did my best, tried my best, they were going to continue to support me, and I'm not going to give up. They're just going to keep funding me to do it, And I think the hardest thing was, what is the end goal here, like for surfers, right?
Yeah.
Like there's, of course, like being somebody like John is like a goal, but like how many times in our lives like have we seen that a Kelly Slater, a John, or like, so is that goal realistic? For sure, but also like there also has to be an end goal, like of where you fit into the long-term thing, right? And for me, I was never the most talented, the best guy, but I feel like my career kind of took a different path than others. That was, if I can do this, like it kind of proves like people can make it happen. You know, I didn't make the most money, but like I got to earn things through my hard work.
You got to experience things that nobody in the world has experienced.
Yeah.
And like, very few.
Very
totally.
few.
Yeah, and it's a very gratifying feeling when when you work hard, you build your own house, you get to appreciate it. You pay somebody else to do it, it's like you have a different appreciation kind of thing. So for me, it just so gratifying just knowing I got a chance in my life to live out my dream of being a professional surfer. I used to go down to the Pipe Masters and be like, I want to do this one. I used to skip school, and like my dad used to take me, let's go watch the Pipe Masters. And I remember
should be a holiday that day.
Yeah, right. It's a national holiday. And I remember watching Andy and Shane Dorian at like surfing backdoor in a final, and I was like, I want to do this one day. This is rad. Like, I got to see this, and like, I hope one day I can do this.
So, back to you as a Grom surfing koalas, and you were saying there's a lot of talented kids. Who were those kids?
Oh yeah, like when we were young, all summer long we would be at Kewalos every day, or even like when school like got out, we were like at Kewalos, and everybody's there all afternoon. It was like.
Was there homeschooling too? With
homeschool kind of came in a little bit later, like towards like end of high school. But the Moniz family was really like the staple of like, they go there, they set up, they're surfing, and there's 5 of them. They all surf good, so that's like a lot of waves taken off your plate already. So
and back of the list.
Yeah, so it's
Moniz
like
number 1, Moniz number 2,
and it was like luckily like I was like little bit like I was in the middle age group, so I was like, okay, Josh, Seth, bro, you're in the back of the line, bro. Like I gotta get my waves. But no, we had so much sparring partners. Like Carissa used to come down and surf Kewalos. This guy Derek Wong, he was really good when we were young. Zeke Lau was obviously like one of the best kids in our age group. You know, Kaylia Moniz became a world longboard champion.
Yeah.
Seth Moniz on the tour, Josh Moniz, like event winning people, you know, so everybody was really competitive. And it's cool because we had this small community of like family essentially, you know, and we're all doing events too, but in the afternoons at Kewalas, it was like gloves were off and you're like, I remember like paddle battling Carissa and like interference style, like just going like bumping like rails and like,
Because it's a
little section,
peak.
yeah.
I mean, it's tight little.
yeah. And
zone.
I remember Carissa's dad, Chris was like, hey, I thought he was gonna scold me, you know, and I was like, oh shit, like is it gone too far?
Don't take
He's
it
like,
too easy on her.
He's like, no, keep it going, like don't take it easy on her. It's the only way she's gonna get better. I was like, whoa, I was like,
That's real.
all right, it's on. And then like Zeke would come. It was pretty cool.
But
No
that's
wonder everyone's so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because you look back at things like why are these people so good
Yeah.
in that certain area in that certain time? You know, there's different time periods where
Yeah.
why were there so many good people at that time at that spot?
Yeah.
And then you look at it like, oh fuck, it's
Yeah.
Zeke, it's Carissa, it's
The
the
Moniz,
Monizes.
it's
You know, it's
you.
like no fucking wonder.
Yeah.
Because that competition, everyone pushes it.
You're in a
Everyone
heat.
pushes
You're in a
everyone.
heat every
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, and to me, like I'm actually so grateful. If it wasn't for them, like I don't think I would have learned a lot of the things that I learned, you know,
Yeah.
and it really gave me like just armor. So when I would go into competition, it was like a confidence booster because I was like, dude, I've been surfing against Carissa and doing this with Zeke, and just like we've been battling every day. Like we're more than prepared for this. So it's like if you don't have that environment, it's really challenging to kind of like push yourself and try to like, you know, if you're a good surfer with nobody around you, like you're always gonna be a good surfer, right? So it's like every day you had a chance to make yourself better, you know. And there's this other guy, Matty Costa, was like unreal. Like
Matty Costa.
yeah, he's from the west side.
That sounds familiar.
He came and he had a lethal backhand and he just would kick our ass. Like we're like, wow, this guy is
Regular
good
footer,
too.
goofy
Goofy
footer.
footer, yeah. So there were just like a ton of us that would, you know, just be able to like.
What about Quizon
Quizon
and the brother?
Holloway now, but that was Kristen and Dustin. That was the older cousins.
Okay, they're older.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
That
Alessa
guy
was
was a freak.
yeah.
right?
Alessa was really good too, and she made the tour. She was, you know, a competitor on the tour, so
Yeah.
it was good. You know, but it got weird when Carissa started doing the boys contest and she started kicking our ass, and we're like, this is not gonna happen.
I want two prize packs in the final.
I
I
was
don't want
like-
the girls. I want to take the boys' prize pack.
Isn't that heavy?
And the girls were so good. Like Coco, Carissa, Malia Manuel, they would do our contest, and even Alessa. And like the mini grounds was an open division. They would smoke us. We're like, this is so
mature
bad.
faster. They're just that good.
Yeah.
But that was one of the kind of your local spot bowls. Like, where would they hold contests at?
Yeah, like Kewalas was one place that they would always have contests at just because it was such an easy left and right wave. And
Set up right
Yeah,
there, just
and
killer
then-
at the park.
Alamana Bowls was another event like site that we would have. And that wave is really
Sandy's.
good. Sandy's was always one. Quartz was cool. Like
Where's Court?
it's like in between. It's like Magic Island. Like so. In
Oh, yeah,
between
yeah.
Bowls and Kewalas, it's like right in between. It's kind of a far paddle, but the wave was fun, and
Yeah.
like we had like such good waves. You know,
Yeah.
all reef breaks. It's like so opposite from California. You know, all
Designated, like, this is where the waves are going. You know, swells
Yeah.
can kind of move it around a
Yeah.
little bit.
And I think that's what made it more challenging as I got older, is because I would go to Brazil and it would be a tiny beach break, and I was like, oh dude, I surf bad waves, and my bad wave is like Sandy's, where there's like kind of push, there's like a little bit more like power,
More
you know?
defined too.
Yeah,
right?
more defined. And so it's like when I would go to these other waves, I was like, oh, my boards work good. Go to this other place and I would like my boards wouldn't work. So
Yeah.
it was like, how do you rewire your brain or rewire your equipment to like make it better when you're on the road? Because
Yeah.
it's so different when you're surfing waves around Hawaii. It's like,
That's another weird thing, right? Because sand versus rock bottom or reef bottom, there's way different power to it.
Yeah.
And buoyancy. And
Yeah.
like, so many things that you don't think of.
Yeah, I'm bringing my Magic shortboard
Yeah.
and, you know, my
Yeah,
backup, and then you show up and you're like, well, fuck, I could have got
This
1
1
2
foot,
inches shorter.
Yeah.
different from one.
Yeah.
This 1 foot, right?
Yeah.
Like
and it's so funny how you can just like, it's like an ever changing thing, you know.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, oh, this works, this doesn't, this works, this doesn't, and it's like,
So, amateur contests, you're sponsored by Tokoro, you're sponsored by Locomotion,
yeah.
and then like clothing sponsor, first clothing sponsor.
My first clothing sponsor was Quiksilver. They like would give me clothes, and yeah, I was like on the little team. And then one year I like was like, dude, I don't have any sponsors, and I went to nationals, and I just was like, I'm not gonna get anywhere if I just continue to like. This is a long time ago, so this is a different time and people and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I just took my stickers off and I was like, I don't really have a sponsor. They're just giving me like a couple t-shirts every like quarter. You know?
Yeah.
But Chad Wells took really good care of me at that point in time.
Yeah,
and
well,
that was my sponsor, Chad Wells. Like not Quicksilver, it was Chad Wells.
Chad made sure you were taking care of
He
you.
took care of me
Yeah.
like he was like my uncle, you know.
Yeah.
Anytime I needed something, he was always like, I come over here, he'd always take care of me. Like I'll never forget that. Like I would always like think of
Awesome.
Chad like as one of the people that like really took care of me from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I took my stickers off and I was like, dude, I need to like get some type of support. My parents are like spending all their money for me to do this, and I ended up doing pretty good. I got 2 seconds, and then after that, Chris Hefner got me on Billabong
Awesome.
at the time. So I was 13 years old, and Hef took care of me like at that point in time in my amateur career. Gave me money to pay for contests and took me on a trip.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the start of, oh, like this is a chance and an opportunity to like be something more than just what it just was, just
Yeah.
the next step. So it
And
was
'cause
really cool.
It's frustrating too, right? Because you're with Zeke and you're seeing Carissa and you're seeing
Yeah.
the Monises with their stickers on their boards, and I'm sure they talk about their sponsorship deals,
Oh, for sure.
and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah. And I'm
You
just
know?
sitting there like, I don't have any. Like, do I even have sponsors? And I was like thinking like, I don't know. And at the time, Chloe and Dino like just started riding for Billabong, and it was a really big. It was like news, like, oh, Chloe rides for Billabong. He's like, and everybody kind of knew about like what other people's sponsorships were and stuff. And I was just like, damn, like I don't have anything. Like,
Yeah.
Just give me a little bit
Give
of
me
that.
a little
yeah,
piece of that.
So I was really, in my mind, I was really fired up and hungry to like, it was weird. I was young, but I don't know why I thought like this, but like I always thought like, if that guy has it, I'm gonna go and take what that guy has. Like that right there, I'm gonna go show them why that doesn't matter, and like I wanna beat them,
And
It fires you up.
those guys they're gnarly, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Zeke rode for Volcom, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Carissa was Roxy, right?
Yep.
Then,
Mhm.
and you're like, these are killer brands that you would love to ride for, and it fuels your desire to like get the same.
Yeah.
And like you said, I want to get what that guy.
Yeah, that's exactly like just how I thought. I just like these guys all ride for cool brands, and that was something I desired.
Yeah.
I want to ride for a cool brand that can like
And
give me
you're
guidance.
You're probably just as good as them, but for whatever reason, like he said, brands have to pick one.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like just outside of that bubble for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
totally. And I probably wasn't the best like kid, like so it was. I could only imagine like hesitation around like, oh, I don't know, and so like even Half like took such good care of me and just giving me a chance with a small contract to like get incentives and do
Yeah.
this, and like it was unreal,
Yeah.
and that's like that to me.
Sometimes
is,
that's all
like,
it takes is a little bit of support, dangling the carrot in front of you, getting you a taste of like,
To believe in you.
Yeah,
confidence
that's
for
100%.
sure.
And
Like you're-
shout out to fucking Chad Wells and Matt Keckley and
Yeah.
who else?
Oh, like team managers.
Team managers
Yeah,
that
don't matter,
have
there's a million.
Reese
Yeah.
McIntosh, right? Like
Yeah.
they've had such a huge unsung effect
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a lot of people.
For
you know?
sure, yeah.
Like we talk about Danny Kwok all the time too.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
same thing. Like these guys,
Garth Tarlow.
Garth Tarlow. Like
Oh,
there's
he's
so
The
many
best.
people.
I
you
love
know?
Garth. I love Garth.
Like just an eye and knows how to
The best little
groom,
advice.
like and help, advice and help them get to the
Yeah.
next level.
Ultimately, like you need to have that person in order to like pour into the foundation of the youth, and like there's so much like I don't blame like parents for not understanding how it's operated and like what's the best steps to take your next step, right?
Yeah.
Like what is the best way my daughter, my son wants to be a professional surfer, what event should I do, what should I do here? And it's like without those kind of people, like kind of giving information, advice, or utilizing their experience from the past to kind of like help guide the next generation, like, is so important. And it really goes like unseen, only because it's not about the team managers. It's about the kids. It's about these guys, you know.
And that, like I said, I think, you know, those team managers, they've had gnarly positive things,
100%.
you know, that people don't ever hear of.
Yeah.
Because it's something that, because team, like, you know, when somebody, well, who was it that, Brad Doherty. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
when he goes to Schumacher, who owned Counterculture, dude, I won the contest. And
Start paying
like,
me.
Yeah, he's like, when do I start getting paid? He's like, what?
Yeah. Like, oh, geez, what?
Didn't have anybody in his corner to tell him like the proper like route and what expectations are. He just, people who win contests get paid, right? Like, so
Goes,
funny.
dude, that's why we're giving you clothes for.
Yeah, clothes. That's all you need.
So you're on Hawaii, the epicenter of big wave surfing. How was that, like, progression from South Shore to the North Shore?
It was hard. Like, I grew up like where the waves, if you guys seen where I grew up, the waves for like a shortboarder is like the perfect place to like to work on your small wave game. Like, if you can surf that,
that's where I belong.
Then you're like, okay, like any other wave is good, you know. So it was hard. And
is that
like,
the same place that Macy surfs?
Yep. Harvest Point and Hull-Bush, and, you know, so it's hard. And for me, like, I give my dad so much credit and like so much. I'm so thankful that he was able to come home from work at 3 o'clock, pick me up, and take me to the North Shore to go surf. Like, without that time right there, like, I wouldn't have been able to learn or like surf bigger waves, or I would have been stuck on the South Shore, you know, just like still like.
Because people do get stuck on that side, right?
Yeah, and it's easy, you know.
Everywhere's easy. It's not easy. It's like to travel, even on Oahu. You know, going from west, south, north. It's like you're.
And it'd be so easy for my dad to be like, no, we're gonna go home and
we have this side. We can surf these waves.
Like, you know, but
put in the time.
He sacrifices gas money, his time, so I can go and surf. And like, to me, that was just like insane, you know. And, you know, to go surf Haleiwa, to go try and surf Pipe, to V-Land, like Sunset, whatever it was.
And what was your fear factor or courage factor level?
Oh, I was super scared, but I so badly wanted to experience being a pro surfer. I was like, I deprived being a professional surfer. I deprived like wanting to ride a bigger wave, but I was scared, you know. So it's like anything, you know. It's like a baker just keeps making dough. They're not good at the first time they do, but like when they keep making it, they'll get more consistently better, and then eventually, like, I'll catch a bigger wave, and that was kind of like my goal. Like,
there's a handful of just psychos.
Yeah.
But a lot of the big wave surfers, it's putting in the time and the effort and paying your dues, you know? Like, there's some people that are just cray.
I'm such a
lot, and even a lot of those guys are like, they won't maybe flaunt it. Like, dude, I was scared to death. Some open up, but for the most part, dude,
it's funny because like crazy. At the start of the winter, like November, your first swell at like Pipe or something, and the waves are pretty big, you're like so freaked out, so scared. You see guys like going over the falls and you're like, oh, this is sketchy. Like, you take off on your first wave, you're like super stiff, and you know, you're just like tense. And then when it comes to like January, you've been doing it for the last couple months, you've had like 10 swells in your belt, everything feels so like
routine.
You know, the engine is oiled, and you're like going on waves, and you're like, oh,
those first the first couple swells, you're like, okay, I'm going to Hawaii. Fudge, I hope it's not 20 foot. Okay, I hope it's like rideable, you know. And then the contest lineup comes, you're like, oh man, I hope it's like not fucking too big.
Because I am a fucking wuss. And it's so, like, when I see people and know, and you know, magazines, video, and you see these guys that, oh, I can relate to that,
right? And
then they mosey on to the North Shore and they're, you know, paddling out at fucking 10-foot pipe or 8-foot pipe or 6-foot pipe, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, how did they get from there to fucking there, you know?
The drive.
And it's like, there's millions of people like me. There's a couple thousand people like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you've done it so much and you've acclimated and you've like, okay, I can do this. But there's, millions of us are going, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck? Like,
there's no pro surfing route if you
don't charge.
If you don't, I mean, you don't have to go do Waimea Third Reef and freaking tow and shit, but like, you better be able to like.
And even growing up from Hawaii,
it's a lot of pressure.
that is like
a lot of pressure.
You cannot be the small wave surfer from Hawaii. Like that doesn't go hand in hand. Like,
hey,
so.
I'm not talking shit on anybody, but I mean, Felipe Toledo's world titles, there's a little asterisk on that.
For sure.
Because it didn't end at pipe and.
I mean,
and I do gotta say, like, obviously, like he does have like he lacks a little bit of kind of time and efforts into like those big waves, but he definitely has made a lot of progress. Like, when I watch him surf, I get very I get excited because when I see him, like, when you see somebody like, oh wow, they actually been working on this. Like, they get a ton of like bad rap for it, but like I see him surfing these waves now, and he's going, and like I get encouraged because I'm like, wow, he's still bettering his craft. And it's really.
I mean, Adriano de Souza
put in time.
Yeah.
He had Jamie O'Brien, and he's lived. Guys that want to be.
The guys that want to win and the guys that want to get better, they will do what it takes in order to get there. And like guys like Gabriel Medina, guys like Adriano, like he's not a big wave surfer, but he said, you know what, like I'm gonna go and like I'm putting all my chips on the table and I'm gonna work to go get it.
It's gnarly because when you watch him, he's so freakishly good that you expect him not to be afraid of pipe. Or Tahiti. Because like the shit that he does on double overhead waves is fucking gnarly. He does big shit and heavy things in heavy conditions, but then on the islands or reef breaks, he's different, right?
Yeah, his rail game at double overhead, J-Bay or Bell's Beach, which are powerful heavy waves, but it's not pipe or chopes or
And that's like it's so unique.
That's the asterisk. Right?
Yeah, and it's so unique. Like all these different locations, there's such a different way to compete at each location.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's so, and I never really understood that until I was in it, and I was like whoa, like the strategy isn't the same anymore. Like it's not like we're surfing a point break, or it's not surfing like a beach break. It's like so the ways of competing at all these different locations was such a unique strategy and like tailored to what you're trying to achieve in those 30 minutes. And I think there's some guys that know how to compete in big heavy chopa waves, but then sometimes their strengths are not necessarily like at J-Bay. It's like a two different, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think Felipe did a good job at like doing all the J-Bay, the trestles, and
everything,
and learning how to compete at waves like Chopo or Tahiti. Like you got to have somebody in your corner that has the experience and the knowledge to help you and guide you through like competing at those locations. And I think that's why there's really good coaches that,
for sure,
like Reynolds Hayes that coached Italo through like wins out there, or Ross Williams, or there's certain guys that make it very valuable and experience into like what it needs to
wave selection, equipment, just having somebody in your your ballpark brain side of, look, you're on the right board, it's the best choice. Okay, you're gonna what waves to look, just confidence, and you just need somebody to bounce ideas off. It's not like, okay, you're going to go out and do this turn there and this turn there. It's like, you guys know how to surf. Anybody at that level knows how to surf. It's just somebody that could be there to kind of calm the nerves, help guide you into like, a cleaner sense of headspace. And, a lot of times, those guys have, great experience at all those spots. They've been there. That's where you're at now. Pay it forward.
It's like you're saying it to yourself, but then somebody else saying it to you that you respect it validates you, and it makes you more comfortable and confident.
Dude, I remember riding for Quiksilver as a kid and going to Hawaii, and they're like, if you don't go charge,
you're off.
Rip that sticker off. That's what, it wasn't me, that's what they told all the kids. Like, we know everybody on the North Shore, like we got eyes and ears everywhere. And like you call this guy, you call Mickey, you call Marvin, you call Jack Johnson, whoever, like, the boys were at the time, and Reynos was on the team, back then in Quick. And it was like it was so intimidating and heavy.
It was so funny.
But also awesome to go paddle out like guys that know the spot, You're not just in no man's land. It's like, okay, hey, the current's here. If you break your board, swim this, like just giving you the lay of the land, because it's totally different than, out here in California.
Yeah, and it's so funny now, like times have changed. I spent time with Reynos with the kids, and like trying to help guide them. And, before it was like, you need to go charge. And now, like, it's so funny because Reynos is just like, no, bro, we cannot go and send them out there. Like, it's too dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
These are our kids. There's a liability. Like, he was like, total rewire, like, his brain was just like, no. Can't tell him just to go send it because, there's dangers out there.
And I think I was listening to Mason on their podcast, and he was saying, like, all the kids or parents or, want to go charge pipe and back door. And they're like, no. Like, wait till you're mature. Wait till you're, like, good and you have confidence, because it's so dangerous. And people go out there and because it's so iconic and all the spotlights there, but it's like you don't need to be 14.
Well, it's crazy.
Throwing yourself over the ledge. And
I think it's always been dangerous, but it's more dangerous now because it's fucking crowded.
Yeah.
And every kid wants to, like,
it was crowded back then, but it's just
everybody wants a piece of glory.
But
I was watching Reef on the Black Bear channel, and he's talking to Berger about him growing up, and he's from Kauai originally, and then he'd go to the North Shore, and he's like, yeah, dude, like, he would go out when it's blown out, when nobody else is gonna go out.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how I figured it out. I went out when it was shitty.
You get way more lickings on the shitty, and you just know you're getting closeouts or crappy waves, and pay your dues.
So, when was there a particular contest or trip that you went, okay, I'm fucking good enough to be a pro surfer?
Yeah, I think there was a QS at Bowls, and I was like 16 or 15 or 16, and Bowls was like kind of like right up my alley, for like, it was kind of like in my wheelhouse. Like, I liked that wave. I feel like I surfed that wave pretty good. And it was the first time I ever done a QS, and I ended up like, I think I got 5th or made the semis, and I was like, oh shoot, I like beat some of the pro guys, and I feel like I belong. And it kind of gave me some points to do another event at Sunset. And at the time I was riding for Billabong. Then I got to Sunset, and I was like, okay, this is a really big challenge. And I was 15 years old, and I'm like, this is like kind of eyes, wide open, like, whoa, the waves are big, I gotta like compete. And, at the time, Reynos was my coach and helping me. And, fortunately he was like, had so much knowledge and so much experience, at Sunset especially. And I ended up making the final at Sunset at 15. And the waves were big, and, it was like kind of scary, and I ended up doing pretty good, and I got out of my comfort zone and got a good result.
What year? What contest?
It was the HIC Pro. I think Billy Kemper won. The final was crazy. Alex Smith got 4th, and this Australian guy got 2nd. But it was like one of those events. It used to be the XL Pro, and then it became the HIC Pro, and a lot of the
is before the Triple Crown. It's like the kind of local.
How many?
I think Poncho's won it like 8 times.
Yeah,
Billy's won it a few times.
That was the one, and like that was the first time I like.
How many rounds you have to go through?
Miles.
It was a lot, because I was in the first round, because I was just a little puppy at the time. Just trying QSs for the first time, and I surfed I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 heats, because I surfed from round 1 all the way to the final. And that to me was like,
the waves were good size.
Yeah, the waves were pretty big. Yeah, the early rounds waves were really big, and towards the final day, kind of the waves started to dip down. But that was like kind of like the first real like, oh, I like think I am good enough, And I went to Bali, did a pro junior, and I was like kind of the youngest guy, and I ended up winning that contest. So I had these like little wins, and I was like, oh, okay, like I know how to win events now, and I'm making a little bit of money like here and there. And it kind of just like kept it's like putting the coin in the parking meter, like I just kept like
okay, I got a little more life.
Yeah, I have a little more life.
I
Yeah,
got,
like
got a little bit more time to figure it out and get better.
yeah, and like I was so grateful when I was that age where, I had some type of support and some sponsorship to like help pay for certain things that I could help me get to places. So.
Yeah. What about like surf trips? Where'd you first go? And
My first surf trip ever, like out of the country, I went with Chad Wells to France. It was King of the Groms.
Oh,
It took me and this
rad.
other kid from the west side, Heisen Leakin. It was like the coolest experience. We missed our flight coming back and we spent extra 2 weeks in Europe. It was like classic.
Oops.
Yeah. Cool Chad Wells
Not-
and two Groms and
not fucking the next day or the next couple days. It was
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
yeah, we were there for 2 weeks, 10 days. And it was funny. It was a really good time, but that was the first time I went out of the country, and the first real big trip I went on was they were filming this movie called One Track Mind.
I remember.
I don't know if you guys
I
heard
remember that movie.
Yeah.
And they had like Aki and Andy. And,
Yeah.
And
Timmy Curran?
the Malloy brothers made that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And it was a film. It was like an actual
Yeah.
film. So they filmed everything on film. But it was a boat trip to the Mental Eyes, and I got to go with like a killer crew: Kalohe, Evan Geiselman, sheesh, I forget who else. But it was like a pretty
But
solid crew.
Real life surf trip boat.
Yeah,
Just
and I was
free
like-
surf all day, every day.
Yeah, and I was
Was
like
that your
the
first
kids
road
I,
trip too?
Yeah, and I was the kids I got to surf with, and like I surfed against and surfed with, and it was so fun. And every day I was so frothing to see the footage, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, you can't see it because it's
it
all
was
film."
all film.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because
"Oh, what?"
that was the best. Sitting down at the end of the day,
To watch
a
film.
footage.
Yeah. So
What's
it was
crazy is
You're like, I got some good ones. I don't know. Maybe it was switching out the reel.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, that trip was the first time I ever got to go on like a real editorial trip that was like a purposeful for a movie, and the movie came out insane. I had. They tell you about something, you don't know what it is, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. Like, and I was just grateful to be a part of it.
and I go back to like how you're at Koalas competing against those kids, the big names that we talked about, Zeke and Carissa, and all of a sudden you're doing it yourself, going to France, and then going on a Mentawais boat trip. Like that's the progression of it, and you're like, fuck, I'm doing this. Like those are huge things that you go to your school, right? You go to high school or whatever. You're like telling your friends, you're like, I'm about to leave to go here, and I'm about to leave to go here. Like, people are tripping, like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Keanu's a fucking gnarly dude. He's
Bro, give me some t-shirts and hats. I'll get them knots.
Yeah, and what was unique was like when I was at that age too, like where I grew up wasn't like the most, there wasn't a ton of opportunity for the kids there, like nowadays it's a lot better, but back then, like for a surfer to go on a surf trip, it's like kind of unheard of, so like for me, I was so lucky and so fortunate to be able to do that, and like to have surfing to get me away from trouble was like a blessing, I never thought about that at the time, but like I was just so head down to like I just love to surf. That's it. I love to
and
surf.
how proud is your parents, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
Do your sister surf?
My sister surfed. Yeah, she still surfs, but she was more into like she was like a D1 volleyball player.
Oh, rad.
So she played volleyball and I was surfing, but she would surf for fun and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was unique, And I think if she surfed though, it would have been like maybe too competitive.
And your dad was a state champ for karate?
Yeah, he was a fighter.
And did they make you guys train?
No, my
Yeah.
dad was just more like whatever we wanted to do, he wanted us to want to do it. And
Not
he-
do it because I do it or force
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, and it's not like to force me to go do it because he wanted me to do it. And I think
Yeah.
my dad just really wanted a son that like respected him and loved him and not like, oh, my dad's my coach, oh, my dad's like telling me to do this, oh, my dad's that. So I feel
Yeah.
like maybe that's why my dad just was like supportive of whatever like we wanted to do.
see,
like,
Larry,
we
you're
got to-
doing it all wrong.
No.
I'm kidding.
No, everybody's.
No.
Yeah, I think that was.
I'm like, don't surf contest. No,
Yeah.
just go. Let's go get barreled and go on a surf trip. And
That's what my daughter tells me now. I'm like, do you want to go surfing the surfboard? She's like, no. And then sometimes she's like, I'm doing something. She's like, Daddy, I tell you a secret. I want to go on the surfboard in the ocean. I'm like, oh yeah. She gets me all fired up. It's so funny.
That's rad.
Because it's a lifestyle, you know. It's like you could do it forever.
Yeah, but it's cool to hear that, you know, because your dad, like you said, he wants you to be successful and love what you do, and then boom, he sounds like he did it right, where, you know, you did it on your own without him being like,
Yeah, he
the
did.
soccer dad.
You got
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the kid's got to want it, or
Yeah.
you know, you can't force, or it's just gonna have to
Because we
sit
see
there
it a
and-
lot.
Oh,
We
yeah.
see people that
Oh,
are
for
forced.
sure.
Yeah, and like it was really cool because like when I was 16, I moved out to the team manager at Billabong at the time. His name was Blake Pettit, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna come to California. There's a bunch of pro juniors out there, and I just lived on his couch for like it feels like a couple of years. And then I just was like surfing, going on trips, and doing this, and I was out of the house, 16 years old. You know, like it's on. I'm just surfing. You know,
Yeah.
making a little bit of money, and it's going. I don't know. My parents were like.
That was the best
Yeah,
place for you at
you
that
know.
time to be able to like take it to the next level.
Yeah, and I was living in California. And
Which
I
is a
was,
sacrifice
Where at?
to
It was in
live.
Laguna Beach. Yeah. So it was nice. I would just go surf trestles, or I would just go surf wherever, you know. I was like kind of just like, this is rad. I'm like a lifetime surf trip, you know. And it was good. My parents like really prepared me to like, okay, this is your bills. This is like, you got a phone, you got this, you got to pay for your food. You know what I mean? They kind of like definitely raised me to.
You're not gonna go there and party, bro. You're gonna go there and
Yeah.
work
so
hard.
I was like fortunate enough to have my parents that were, you know, open to like letting me do that, you know.
Yeah.
Then eventually I moved out into my own little studio when I was like 17, and then I was kind of bouncing around, moving to like my own little place.
But that's
No.
good to get independence and be able to like,
Well, it's like,
you know, grow up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Well,
not be sheltered, not be babysat. You know.
Yeah.
we talk about how traveling really educates you and really kind of makes you figure things out, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause when you're traveling, you don't always have your parents to tell you
Yeah.
what to do, or someone tell you what to do. You kind of have
Roll out the credit card and pay for everything.
Yeah.
And don't worry, just sit on your
Yeah.
phone and we got it handled. You show up here and do that. What? You got to carry your bag? Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and it was like definitely like school of hard knocks when you're traveling, you know. And like
Yeah.
at that age, I was fortunate enough to have like good people around me that like they wouldn't just leave me out to like dry like
Yeah.
on the street or anything, you know. So they would, if I really needed help, there was a lot of good people in my life that got to like take care of me, you know. There's
Yeah.
like Dane's on was like his family was always so generous, like feed me, like if I'm like stuck in between like airport or whatever, like they took really good care of me. And I like just have a lot of good relationships with friends and families that like I'm so appreciative of.
Yeah.
Because without that, like
I mean, you're a Grom,
Yeah.
or anytime you could call somebody and be like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to Australia. You could be reaching out to a handful of people or a lot of people, and they'd be like, oh, come by, you could stay here.
Well,
you know, like
yeah.
the doors open up. Like everybody is like-minded and they're very, you know,
especially
friendly.
like what you've talked about it before. It's like these brands. If you ride for Quiksilver, the Quiksilver network is open. You ride for Billabong, the Billabong
worldwide.
network is open. Worldwide.
Global.
yeah, and I think that's why like when people would come to Hawaii, our doors were always open for like Jack Freestone used to come and stay with me when he was young, and you know, we'd always have people like at our house. Like
Yeah.
all of the guys used to come and stay. Ballroom's first trip to Hawaii, he stayed with us. You know?
Sick.
And it was like just a network of people, and it was like if I go to New York, like Ballroom took care of me. You know, if I go to Australia, like Jack was taking care. So it's like, you know, you kind of have your friends like around the world, and it's like it's really unique, and like surfing is such a special thing. You know,
Yeah.
to have community like that.
Yeah,
So-
we laugh because we will be like halfway around the world, and you'll see somebody from like your town or the next town or something. You know, you're like, oh, you're here. It's like the world's big,
Yeah.
but when you're a surfer, it's pretty small. You're gonna
You go
run.
to the same places.
You're gonna run into the
Yeah.
same people.
We're all chasing the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
like go get a good
Good
wave.
waves.
Yeah,
So-
but yeah,
So you're riding for Billabong, living here, 17.
Mhm.
When did you turn pro?
Like after that, I left Billabong and I started riding for Fox at the time. Chris Drummy,
Drumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, he gave me like a nice opportunity at Fox to kind of launch me into like a professional surfer for myself, and you know, there's so many people along the way, like as I'm talking, like I just like,
Oh yeah.
I never forget like these people that have like given me time and opportunities, because I would have never had the chance if they didn't, you know. And Drummy, you know, really had a big part in just like helping me get the next step, you know. And Frankie DeAndrea was also somebody that was at Fox, and he was like, what is your goal? How do you want to do this? Like, we have a couple years to make the tour. And at the time it was like, whoa, I have to make the tour? Like, I'm like, at this time I'm like my late teenage years, you know, and I'm going on trips and I'm doing this and like trying to make these like little edits with the Fox team and this and that. And finally I got to a point with Frankie, it was closer to when I was like 19, 20. Said, look, you have like this opportunity to make the tour, like we're gonna help you to get there, but this is the things that you will need in order to get there. And during that time, Damien Hobgood was transitioning out of the tour, and he was becoming into like helping me. Like, he took the time out of his like family and he's retiring, or like he's done competing. He wanted to help me to make the tour. He was traveling to all these Challenger or Prime events at the time and coaching me. Damien Hobgood, yeah. And his brother CJ was like along like the ride too, and just like helping me through like this kind of stuff too. You know, like if there was an event in Tahiti, like CJ would look after me. Or
now, I know you were doing well in contests. You made the final at Sunset, but were your sights going for the CT?
Yeah, it was funny because like when you're at like a pro junior level or like an early QS level, you're like thinking of the CT as like miles down the road, you know. And I did a couple. I got into an event in Brazil and I got third, and that kind of like catapulted me into the rankings at the time. It was like a one world ranking. I was like sitting like 50th or something like that, and it's like, oh, if I string together a couple more results, I could qualify. And then, you know, kind of just like being young, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like forcing things to try and happen, and it kind of put me in like that area of like, okay, now here's your window to qualify. You have your ticket to be in these events. Like, now it's like time to qualify. And that was kind of like during that time was when, you know, at that point when you're early like QS, you're not winning at all, you know, unless you're like really talented and you're just like snap and you're just like,
It's the same thing, kind of building your rank so you have a better seed for next year. You know, there's very few that just hop on and then make it. You know, there's the few.
And I was like one of those guys that got on the QS and I was like, geez, I'm getting my ass kicked and this is hard, you know. And but yeah, like I said, like I had really good people like around me, like Damien and you know, just such a good support system.
Yeah.
Even my wife was just like, she could have easily told me like, no, you're losing too much, you're done, you know. But it was nice because she was a huge supporter and like helping me like, you know, mentally at home. And like I'm 19 and I have a girlfriend at home and just like trying to balance everything, you know. But she was such a big like backbone in my life to like, no, this is like, you need to go.
I wanted to ask this earlier because, you know, Hawaii, it's an island, right? It's paradise.
Yeah.
But you can get in trouble kind of easier there, right?
Yeah.
You walked around wrong path and getting into drugs or whatever. You stayed away from all that, right?
Yeah, you know, and it's like the access to drugs, alcohol, trouble, like that stuff
it's easy,
right around the corner. You
Yeah.
know? It's like if you want that, you can easily go get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like
Getting a girl pregnant at 15.
oh, that's
A
like,
lot of boys, I'm sure, is pretty.
And it's like,
prevalent.
you know, life can turn really quickly, like especially in Hawaii is really small, you know, and I dodged that, you know, at an early age, and I think surfing saved me, you know, from like doing anything. I like was so fixated on trying to become a surfer or live that lifestyle, and that's like
Clean.
I just clinged on to that, and I was really driven to try to do that, and I think it kept me away from trouble.
I bring that up because it's interesting, right? It's an interesting, it's a trip that there are kids that you grown up with that don't surf anymore because of drugs, most likely.
Yeah,
right.
And I have a lot of friends that like, you know, sadly like went down that path, and you know, surfing is not in their life.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like surfing, like if it's a part of your life, like you'll be good.
Yeah. We
Get up
believe that too,
early,
for sure.
surf, exercise.
But drugs and surfing have always kind of been together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and I don't condone it, but I also don't like whatever, you know, like do what you want to do. You're only affecting or hurting yourself, right?
Yeah.
And even being on the road too, like you're going to these parties, like every event you go to, it's like
Party. And you're
it's a
the-
party
you're the
because like
celebrity.
it's an event there, and you're
Yeah.
like it's like a rager. You're like, whoa, this is,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
easy. It's easy to go do that.
Yeah.
It's like right there for you.
You're a celebrity in the world
Yeah,
of surf.
like you are a celebrity when you're a pro surfer and you're going to these places. Everyone wants to show you a good
yeah,
time.
because you're there for a reason. They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
You're you look different. You talk different. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of things that like appeal because you're halfway around the world. And
I
so
hope
they're-
I'm not like asking a personal question, but your lady is an MMA fighter, right? Or was, or how the fuck did she get into that?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Like I know my wife. We met because my sister was in her 3rd grade class, and so we're young. I was 1st grade, she was 3rd grade, and she used to stay at our house. We used to go surf on the weekends. Like she used to hang out with my sister a lot. Her and my sister are really good friends, and then not till later, like we kind of like started kind of dating, and it was like weird because our families were like close, and we're like. It was like, no,
Yeah.
no, like
She's your cousin.
yeah, like no, we're just like good friends, like no. And then now we've been married for 8 years and we have 2 kids, and it's funny how life is. But when she was younger, she used to wrestle for the like in school, so she had high school wrestling in Hawaii. It's like wrestling is really popular,
And she's a pretty girl. Like you look at her and you're like, wait, she fucking fights?
Yeah.
You know, even wrestling is to hear you say she wrestled, you're like, she fucking wrestled?
Yeah,
You know,
like,
she
it's,
doesn't-
it's
she
such
looks
not
like
a
a-
girly sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
she looks
popular.
girly, like a,
Yeah, and like even when we were younger, she was like a kickboxer. Like so, wrestling season would be on, she'd be wrestling, and then kickboxing she'd compete, in kickboxing. And like she was kind of like in high school, she was like kind of like a superstar. Like everybody was like, "Oh, Kylan's fighting this weekend." And the Filipino Philcom, like
Her and your dad are probably like this.
Yeah, and then, yeah, my dad like loved it. My dad loved it. He like is so like in he knows that.
Like,
that's the
when
lifestyle.
you hit your kid,
Yeah.
like.
That's my dad. He can talk your ear off for hours like that. Like just he loves that shit. But yeah, and it was cool. She was like a superstar like when we were younger. And after she turned 18, she kind of like put it all together. I think when you're 18 is when you can start like professionally fighting like MMA.
So
you know. So it was like that's kind of when she started putting it all together, and then she moved here to train at in a Rain gym. There was like a lot of fighters there, and she had an opportunity with Mark Munoz to train at the gym and kind of like expand her her knowledge in fighting and have more opportunity. And she fought in Guam a few times, and she has a pretty nice like highlight reel. It was pretty cool. And then fortunately, she was the first female from Hawaii to sign with the UFC.
wow.
I think it was in 2015. It was the same year I qualified for the tour.
Dang,
So we both
power
like
couple.
entered.
That is a trip.
Yeah, we both entered like
Your careers.
career like, oh, this is gnarly. Like I'm never gonna see you. Like you're doing that and I'm doing this. Like it was like pretty wild.
And if it was my girlfriend, I'd be like, wait, I don't want you to get hit. I don't want you to get in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those are things I think of. Like, holy shit! Like my
Yeah.
girlfriend is a badass.
Still lives in teeth, babe.
Yeah. Yeah. She's tough though. She's Samoan, so she's got strength. She got like hard bones or something. I don't know, but she don't have like small like black eyes and like stuff. But like thankfully she's never had like a crazy injury.
Yeah.
And like we're so
Is she
fortunate.
still fighting or no?
She doesn't really fight anymore. Last night she sparred with Mackenzie. I think Mackenzie has a title fight coming up, so she went and sparred with her and Jason Perillo at their gym, just to kind of like help, with some rounds and stuff like that. She loves to fight, but I don't think she's like equipped to like do the time and like training. It was really exhausting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she doesn't fight anymore. She loves the like me. Like I don't compete, but I love to go surf. So
Yeah.
I think she likes the training aspect. She likes to hit.
Stay
extra
fit,
exercise.
work, help
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, so I think that's where she's at now. She had a good run in the UFC, she had a really good opportunity. She fought in China, like another, like she's so grateful to like be able to travel around the world and go experience like fights with You know, she fought on John Jones' card at the Honda Center, and like
Awesome.
it's so cool. You know,
To experience those type of nights are
Yeah.
freaking priceless, man.
Yeah, and like, you know, I think
Just a
just
sold out stadium. Oh, fuck, that'd be
Yeah.
intense.
getting a chance to do that, I think, is like
Yeah.
more of the
Our podcast, you know, we hear these stories and you're just like, what? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because they're like,
it's crazy, and it's a hostile environment. Like I'll be walking around with her like fight tea, and guys are like, "Go, get the fuck out of here! They beat your ass!" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just came to support. Like I didn't even say anything, you know." But
you're talking about my wife, bro.
yeah. And I'm like, this is like what? Like
Yeah, you're gonna be in one camp or the other when
Yeah.
you know when the fights come up. You're either pick a side.
I just had to like ask you that because I thought that was like, whoa, that's so trippy. Like, who do we know that's married to a fucking badass woman UFC fighter?
yeah.
There's
No, yeah,
nobody.
Nobody, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the first.
So
It's
back
cool.
to you and Frankie and Drummy.
Qualifying and here's your
Yeah,
we
Damien.
got you back.
Yeah, they were the ones that like really like directed me, and like, you know, when you get to a point in your career, you can easily be held back from lack of resources, you know. And I think what Frankie and Damien did for me was unreal. Like they actually like, you know, watered my plants pretty much to help me like grow and like able to like do what I'm able to do and like make the CT, you know. And
Because it takes a lot of money,
yeah,
you know, and you know there's certain points in the industry and where there's money and there's budgets, right?
Yeah.
Like at that time, there's probably because Fox, who's not really in our game anymore, right? So they
They're
were
spending a lot of money.
spending a lot of money. They had you, they had Bruce, they had Kalani,
At one
Damien.
Ian Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had a pretty
They had one of the-
Chippa Wilson, like we had a crazy
Chippa.
team.
Crazy
We would go on
team.
these like crazy trips, you know, it was so fun. And you know, I think like just that alone, like it's just to have money to go do that is the ticket. That's your meal ticket to go and like
And the
And
one
not just that, but enough money to like make money and not spend it all on tour, right?
Yeah. And like
well, you're always
I spent
investing.
all my money.
You're always
I do,
investing
yeah.
because one world ranking, you could surf as many events as you want, and they take your top 8.
Yeah.
So those with the means can get and compete in 40 events versus somebody that could only do 8 or 10 or 12, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a gambling guy.
and
It's like,
you know, but you also have multiple events going on. So if you're Brazil and your forte is small beach break, you're gonna stay local. They have good money. Same with everywhere had different events, and then the big ones, you know, you're gonna go against all the CT guys as well because they're gonna protect their ranks.
Yeah.
You know, so they could double dip. So you had to show up to those because if I remember getting 25th and like a 5-star at the time was like winning a 2-star.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you had to get to the big ones, but then you're gonna surf against a lot of CT
really good
guys.
B Durbridge.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, there's good guys.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind
Another
of
Fox guy.
Yeah.
yeah. But you know, I kind of like it how they have it on the qualifying and challenger because the challengers, it's at stagnant, you know, same spots.
Yeah.
Or you know, and everybody,
It's a tour,
it's a tour itself. So it kind of makes the playing field a little more even, but I don't know, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons.
There's a lot of pros and cons.
to like everything, you know, and like there's a lot of things I do like, some things I liked better before, or,
Yeah.
you know, and I think surfing is they're really trying to figure it out, but you know, I really like the fact that they moved things back to Hawaii at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Even for like when
And
I
got rid of the fucking mid-year cut.
yeah, like that to me is just like massive, you know, and I think
Not give somebody a full year at all the spots is just
yeah.
lame.
and that like the year I qualified, it was so funny because like I had a couple results along the way, and like it comes down to Hawaii, and I feel like I didn't sleep for like 2 months straight, just because like that Haleiwa and Sunset, and that's when you gotta like close your deal on qualification. Like if you don't do that, then you gotta start all over again next year, you know.
Yeah.
And is that how you qualified?
Yeah, like I was going to Hawaii. I think like there was, at the time it was top 10, and I think I was like going to Hawaii 9th. So I was like bubble boy for like 2 months. You know, Haleiwa I made 2 heats, and then I was like ooh, I'm like 11, you know, and there's a couple people that double qualify, blah, blah, blah. And then Sunset was really like, Damien was like, this is like, it's go time. Like, there's no time to slip up, you know?
So he was your coach.
Yeah.
And traveled with you.
Yep.
That's fucking cool.
Right? Yeah. Like, I got to hang out with Damien Hopkins. Like, that is so sick.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest surf turkey ever. Like, I surfed so much.
Probably.
There's so many, like, fun ways. Just, like, it was the best, you know? And it was cool because that event, I remember feeling so much pressure. And I was staying with Ian Walsh and Damien Hopkins at the house in Hawaii that Frankie booked for the Fox team. And I remember that before the contest started, Ian Walsh told, like, we're upstairs getting ready to go to, like, there's, like, winding down. And he's like, if I get you in a heat this contest, make sure you either find yourself in first or in second, because I am not giving you any waves. And I was like, whoa, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I was like, all right.
You're my fucking teammate!
Yeah, right? I was like, I thought you were, like, gonna help me. He's like, no, you need to do it your own. Like,
For sure.
he's like, what if I, because then at the time I didn't get it, and I was like, okay, and I was like kind of young, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, if I give you a wave, you make one more heat, you lose the next heat, then what? I gave you my spot.
Yeah.
You just blew it, like, you know? So
No, you
and
can't
I think
give.
that was the best, like, advice, because it really, like, made me.
And you don't want that hanging over you, like moving forward, like, oh, I'm out here because somebody helped me. You know, it's like,
That's not how.
No.
Yeah, that's and
that's
like
not how it should be.
I was kind of tripping at the time, but like to me that was the best like advice, because I was like,
I think Pat O'Connell did that to one of his teammates. You know,
It sounds
Like-
so amazing.
like somebody
right?
needed to make
Like,
one heat or something. I think it was Pat. Somebody, and then it's like, I'm not giving you a wave.
Yeah.
You know, like
and then it was funny because I ended up surfing against Ian like 2 or 3 times that event. And
At that event?
Yeah, at that event, I got him in like the 3rd round, and then like I think the quarters and semis. It
Oh.
was so funny, and he ended up making the final. But yeah, it was just a cool experience, you know, and just to like make the tour with my family on the beach was like such
you
a
made the
special
tour,
moment.
the
At
CT,
Sunset. Yeah,
riding for Fox.
Ryder Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a lot of changes in the sponsorship throughout the years.
And was that the first year you tried?
The second year, my real second like crack
Okay.
at it, yeah. So it took me 2 years, and then I got on the tour. Rookie year, I did okay. I had a couple big heats. Like I surfed against like Bells was like a big breakthrough for me, because I surfed against Michel Perez, and I was like, this guy's gonna,
Spot.
yeah, he's gonna like smoke me, right? Like I got like, you know, to me it wasn't about my talent. It was about like my strategy and adapting to find ways to make the heats, you know, like it's hard for me to compete against guys that are way bigger than me, way stronger than me. So it was like, what is the strategy to make sure that I put my best foot forward and stick to my strengths? That's how I'm going to make heats, you know. If I surf against Felipe and I'm trying to do airs, I'm going to get smoked. So it's like,
stay in your game plan.
yeah, like stick to what got me to the race, you know. And that was kind of like my go-to, you know, especially when I got on tour. I was surfing against all these guys. Hard for me to match their game. So it's like, how do I? It was way more strategic than I thought, you know. And like compared to like the Challenger Series or like the Primes, those guys are playing checkers. You're now playing chess, you know.
Priority system.
Yeah, they're 4 steps ahead of your step. So it was a really big eye opener. Like the first year was like,
How are the waves for that?
it was fun. Like I love bells. It was like overhead. I mean, it's always overhead on me, but it was overhead, and it was
I
like
know what you
sick.
mean, bro.
Yeah, that's what the best thing about being small. It's like
Yeah.
you guys are always bigger for you.
Always. But those
Sometimes
waves,
too big.
Yeah.
you know, they're the events are bigger, the names are bigger, the prizes, like there's so much
Oh yeah.
pressure and grandstanding of like every part of a contest.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like an arena.
Yeah.
You know, you're like walking to an arena, you're like, whoa, like people are looking at you. Like the craziest experience I had was surfing against Medina that year. My rookie year was 2015, and it was like,
Did he win the title that year?
he won the title before, so
Oh.
he was coming in as a champ, and I like to go to the beach, the thing like closed in, and people were pushing the thing, and I was like, and Woody at the time, he passed, but he was a security guard, and he was like, run, hurry up, get in the water, and like they had this huge like Brazilian flag over like the walkway, and I just remember it closing in, and I was running through, and they're grabbing my leash and my jersey. And I was like,
In
oh
Australia?
my gosh. No, in Brazil.
Oh,
like,
Brazil.
Against Gabby in Brazil later on that like a few
Oh,
minutes after,
shit.
and it was like wild.
You better not beat our boy, man. You might not make it out.
That's hostile.
It was really hostile, yeah, and I was kind of tripping out. And I ended up beating him, and I was like,
You beat
I don't
him.
know what is gonna happen now. I did like an alley oop. I like never do airs, and I did this alley oop and stuck it, and then I ended up beating him that heat. And I got to the beach, and Woody was like, "Run, run!" And I was like, just straight. But it was kind of cool because all the Brazilian guys went straight to where Gabby was coming in. So
Get his autograph.
made a little pathway for me to come. But yeah, that year was wild. Like I had a lot of good heats and big breakthroughs and a lot of learning.
Did you do the QS and the backup?
Yeah.
So it was double. You're pretty much
Yeah,
double duty the whole
I
time,
was
which
gone
is
from January to December, pretty much, like just like all year long. And
because
dedicated.
you can't just like, oh, I'm on the CT. I'm gonna just focus on this, take my time, surf these 10 or 11 vents.
Yeah.
No, you're doing all of those, and then you're cramming in anything else you can to
Yeah.
help solidify.
Backtrack to the day that you found out you made the tour. Was
Where?
that a party?
Yeah, we had a sick party at the Fox House. They had like a full like celebration for me,
Yeah.
and I was like so stoked. But then the next day I got into the pipe trial, so I couldn't really like party that much.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like half in, half out. Like, oh, do I enjoy the party?
So
It
you
was
didn't know until actually pipe
Yeah.
when people were like,
Well, it was right after the contest. Like they came, and then they made a big party for me, and it was sick.
and
We
you
had a
knew
big party.
you're like guaranteed it, like going,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I'm
So-
in, yeah.
Oh.
So I wanted to
Yeah.
like party and have
You get a
fun.
bonus?
I did, yeah, I did. It was like a little more travel budget, and
Yeah.
Pete Fox was at the time was at Fox, and he was the one that like
Calls you up or
yeah, and he just was like, this is more support for
Yeah.
next year. So it was like really nice. For sure.
So do you have contracts and a manager or?
Yeah, at the time, Greg Fernandez was managing me.
Oh, shit.
And Sue
You know
Izzo. Yeah. So they were looking after me and taking care of me and, helping me navigate through just, contract details or whatever that stuff was. And it was helpful, and I think, I'm just thankful for, every person that was, a part of my journey because it made a big impact in my life.
Yeah.
don't want to let all these people down that helped me get here. You want
Yeah.
to obviously prove to yourself, and that's your dream.
Yeah.
How do I stay on tour for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, what's your expectations?
Mm-hmm.
Title, top 10?
Yeah.
You need somebody to take care of those affairs so you don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
right? And you hopefully have enough budget to travel well
Yeah.
and not have to stress on flights and paying for it or all those not creature comforts but all those things that you think about when you travel
Yeah.
and your main thing to focus on is competing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things to take care of to compete.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
I learned that there was a lot more responsibility. Getting yourself to the event and the venue is
That's the easy
that's
part.
the easy part. Preparation and all the ugly part that you have to go through just to
Yeah.
get to the pretty part is a lot of responsibility and a lot of
Yeah.
work. And I
Well,
don't think that.
Speaking of work, did you ever have a job?
I never had a job. The first job I had was 2020. I hurt my knee. They called everything was off, right? We were in COVID and I'm tripping. I'm I have no money. I don't have a job. My knee's broken. What am I gonna do in my life? I can't do anything. And it got real serious, And my wife had a job at the time at Anetic. I don't know if you guys heard of Anetic. It's an
Yeah.
outdoor clothing brand.
Yeah, fishing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And my friend Pete calls me. Kaine Hunt
Yeah.
and Albie.
Yeah.
First ride for them. And my friend Pete Polanski was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Dude, I'm sitting on the couch, just my knee up, just bummed out." He's like, "Do you think you'd want to help me in the warehouse?" I was like, "Bro, I'll do anything."
That's cool.
I was like, I have nothing to do. Yeah. So I was working in the warehouse during COVID. I was just trying, just trying to make, I got bills to pay, Then I found out I was having a baby, and I was like, yeah, I need to have something, and I was, but even that, proved to me, when shit hits the fan, what are you gonna do? Am I too good to work? No, I'm not. I'm able to wake up every day, put my shoes on, and get my ass to work. There's no, I was on the CT a couple years ago. that's not the case. Like nobody gives a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like fucking get to work. So
Yeah.
that was like
It's-
my mentality. It was like I'm not too good to work. Like it's on. Like
Yeah.
you give me a chance, like I will work. And it was fun. I got to experience different things. You know, I got to learn how to tape boxes. I got to learn how to like unload stuff. Like really roll up my
Print some
sleeves.
FedEx, UPS tags. And,
Yeah, like and just help me learn more than what just waxing a board and putting a leash on was. You know,
Yeah.
and meeting new people. You know, we went to an event in Reno, and I just got to meet people that don't even surf.
Yeah.
Different, you know,
Yeah.
like expand my knowledge of like of people, and it was cool. And I was just
Because that's the hardest, you know, we talked to a lot of athletes and surfers and that transition of, you know, pro careers ending, you know, what's the fallback? What's the plan? What's
Yeah.
the, you know, what's moving over? And dude, a
As a
lot of
strategy.
people, a lot of people go into depression and it's a very hard transition because, you know, you've been, you know, held up and pushed and you have the support team, you're making money to just surf. And now you're like, dude, I got bills, I'm grinding, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like,
Before we get
Hard.
to the depressing part of that, let's go back.
not depressing, I'm just saying like the
I know,
transition is,
But I want to go back to you making the tour, right? 2015, rookie year. You're getting your ass beat, right? Like you
Yeah.
said. What the French or Quiksilver Pro was it?
yeah.
So that's the one you won,
Mhm.
and that was your rookie year.
That was my second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so rookie year, what'd you end up?
I ended up 2 spots above the
Cut
the
line.
requalification.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
So
was
how
like
stoked were you?
19th or something. I was super stoked, and I was like, I thought I was I was a little more confident than I really should have been. I was like, oh, I second year 2, like it's on, you know, like I'm gonna get top 10, or I was like
yeah.
confident, you know, coming into year 2. Sure enough, like just a little bit too confident, and just the rug just slipped from under me. And to me, that was the biggest year of my life because 2 things happened. I was getting my ass kicked all over again, and I didn't know why. I was blaming my boards. I was blaming just everything around me. You know when you're young, you're just like
Yeah.
everything else is not your fault.
Yeah.
You know, and not taking accountability for my, you know, actions and what I'm doing. And I was just like, the world hates me and whatever. Like you're so mental.
Yeah.
You're like going to events every 2 weeks. You're just mental. You hate everything. Food doesn't taste good. You're just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, and you're not, you know, you're
Yeah.
not in your comfort
It's a
zone.
grind.
I was getting last place in every single event, and Wade to Carl, I was like, dude, the boards are working down. He goes, okay, I'm gonna order you 5 mayhems. I'm gonna order you 2 sharp eyes. I'm gonna order you 2 DHDs, and you try whatever you like, and we'll tell me what you like, and we'll rebuild another board. I was like, all right, let's do it.
That's
I
it.
started riding all these other boards. I gave him back 2 boards I really liked. Actually 3. One was a sharp eye, one was a mayhem, and one was a DHD. I really like these boards. Look out. He said, can I ride them? I was like, you ride them as much as you want. You can keep them if you want. He rode them, and he was like, yeah, I think from what your feedback is, I'm gonna make a board for you. I was like, okay.
What a great relationship, right?
Yeah. Unreal. Like, Wade Takaro is like one of the best people in my life. It's like, he is unreal. And he made me this board, and like, it was right before I went to Portugal and then I drove to France. So it was that trip. Made me this board.
And how
And it was
far
like,
into
really
the
great.
season is that?
2/3.
Yeah, I was like 2/3. So like, I was getting my ass kicked,
3/4?
and I was like, okay, I got all these boards. I've been trying to work through all these boards, and then J-Bay was like the turning point where I was like, I remember like losing to Ace Buckin, and I literally went home and I was in tears, like, and like saying I don't even want to surf anymore. Like that's how bad it was. It's depressing, you know. Like you work so hard to get to where you want, and it's the thing you love the most, and now it's the thing I hate the most. And I wanted to leave my board bag in South Africa and just leave it there, and I don't even care. Like, that's how deep of a depression I was.
Yeah.
Over it. And I remember
Okay.
coming home.
Do you see other people that way too? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And like, I see it with some of our surfers, and like even some people, they're going through like injuries, and they're going through like, I just made the tour, now I can't make a heat. And for me, like, I just like, I'm open to like call whatever. Like I've been there. I totally understand what that is. Like I've seen it before. You know, I've experienced it.
Because it's a mind game and a mind fuck when you, like you said at the very beginning, the highs and lows of it.
Well, your confidence just starts,
Yeah.
and then you start blaming, like you said, everything else, and you know, it's just a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It's like you blame the guy that made your coffee that morning. At
Yeah.
that point, you're like, "Fuck."
You
nothing.
spilled my name wrong.
Yeah, just stupid stuff. And
Now I'm gonna lose my heat.
yeah, and like you know, I got to that point where I just was like, I hated surfing. I just didn't want to do it. I came home for 2 weeks. I didn't even open my board bag. I was just
From
that done. Yeah, it's that done.
Yeah.
And I had to do some like rebuilding on myself, you know,
And
then
it's crazy. Sorry to keep interrupting, but you're a pro surfer. You know, like that's not a fucking hard job,
oh
right? You're surfing,
Yeah.
but it's so hard because it is your career, right?
Mhm.
And what you do, I mean, that's your career. You have to make it work somehow, some way. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's hard. And it's like it's all on you, you know. So I just remember, just being that depressed, and I was like, I'm fucking over this. Called my dad. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over it. It's like that. Like the thing I love so much, it was so far away from me. You know, love surfing. It always puts a smile on my face, and that's something I hate now.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Then I was after that. I remember going to Tahiti, like fresh perspective, and almost like a mindset of just, you know what, like, fuck it already. Like, John Shimoka, I remember calling me before that. He's like, you have nothing to lose. Like, what's in your way? You're in your own way. Get out of your own way. Like, just go. Like, stop, you know? All right. And I remember that event being, like, very specifically, like, a mental breakthrough and, like, a feeling inside of me that was, like, charging. I was, like, had a couple of heats where I just was, like, going back to when I was a kid when these guys were, like, taking stuff from me. I was like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm coming in and, like,
I have a tiger.
yeah, like, kind of like that kind of feeling. Like, no, I'm like
Underdog.
I'm the baddest motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna take you out. Like,
You're gonna
that's
think
what I
I'm the
needed.
underdog, and I'm gonna come in
Yeah.
and smoke you like the champ. I am.
And that's what I needed to, like, almost like talk to myself into doing, you know. And, like, that's kind of, if nobody can do it for me, like, I have to do it for myself. And that was kind of, I had a couple of good heats, and I think I got 9th in that event. And it wasn't even about the result. It was just about the performance and
attitude.
the
feeling.
desire, the feeling of it
Yeah.
inside my.
So when
my heart.
somebody like John Shimoka, who is, rest in peace, a fucking legend, who you respected, right? Like, you have to hear things from people you respect to validate or push you in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
that conversation you had is what changed your outlook on surfing.
Yeah.
A contest.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
like,
what do you got to lose?
you know, no offense, but, like, my mom's not gonna call me and say, you got this. Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna do anything.
No,
for
you
me,
need
you know what I
it.
mean?
Not
Like,
even your dad. I
Yeah.
mean, your dad can't tell you what John Shimoka can tell you.
yeah. And
You
it's
know?
And they
like,
could tell you the exact same thing, but coming out of his
So-
mouth
so
is-
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally different than what would come from your parent or anybody
Yeah.
else.
And, like, that event was so cool and so unique. Like, I like became a different person after that, you know. And, like, I ended up getting waxed by Kelly. He had 2 10s in my heat. Yeah, I remember the
At
first.
Shopu?
Yeah, the first wave I had was like a 6 or something, and he was all bitter because, like, he's like, they gave that a 6,
Oh, he's so good.
and I was like, whatever, like, he's just talking. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's what you like to
And then
get
he went
under
on-
your skin.
I
Talking.
want to say he went on one wave, and then I got the one in the back, and it was like an 8.
You got an 8.
I had an 8, and then yeah, it was funny.
Y'all simmer
You
down
got a
now.
14.
Yeah, and he, like, I think he only had, like, small scores, and then I was stupid, and I was like, oh, this is epic, and I went on one wave, then the next wave he went on was a 10. And then it happened again, one of the first
One-
wave, and the second wave, he got a
You can
10, and
re-
I was like, well, at least I got comboed by Kelly for 20 points.
You
man.
can replay
Not
that
too many
heat.
people can say that.
You could replay the heat a million times and be like, why did I paddle for that wave and just not hold priority?
I know.
Why did I, but that's
Yeah.
just,
If anybody can get it, 20 points from a Kelly Slater, that's Who else has done that?
Yeah.
Who else has done
Like,
it
you
like
can't
that?
say you got 20 points
And
on
you
your
got
head.
14.
Yeah, I got 14, but he got
So
20.
fuck, dude, that's pretty good, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, I was
that's an above average score.
Yeah, and like the surfing for me was just like, how do I trade big punches with somebody like Kelly Slater? That was like, to me, like what I took out of it, you know. And I
And what a,
Write down, I need
Yeah.
2 10s. In
yeah,
every heat.
yeah.
what,
I gave him my jersey after that too. I was like, Kelly, here's my jersey.
Sign
I hope
it,
he
please.
still has it. He probably threw it away, but
What?
I was like, dude, you
and that's so. It sounds like Kelly, right? Oh, they gave that a 6.
yeah. He was all pissed. I was like, I'm not the judge. Like,
And that's probably just to fuck with you too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I mean.
You
for
know,
sure.
like-
yeah,
That guy,
yeah.
so good.
He loves to talk.
So you got this board made by Tokoro from a mix of all the other boards.
Yeah, and then like after that Tahiti event was into Europe, and I got this board from Wade. He made me 2 of the same board, and I think this one's gonna be good. And it was like black on the bottom. It was kind of cool, like. And I remember riding it the first couple of times in Portugal. We had the QS there. I lost early. Went to France. I was staying with Nat Young and Ryan Miller and this other photographer, Tall Teeth. We were all hanging out at the same house, and I was like, it was so fun because like me and Nat would just go surf all day. We just go surf, and like I was like, this is like what surf trip should be like, you know, and like not even thinking about the contest. And I just remember getting this board and it just felt like it was just glued to the face of the wave. Like the thing was like anything I wanted to do, the board was magic, and it was the funniest experience because like I remember Damien was like, dude, you gotta lighten up, like have a glass of wine at night, you know, like just relax. And that was like one of those trips where I just like kind of pulled back and was like, I'm gonna give my best, but I'm just gonna enjoy every single step of the way. And you know, it's cool, like when you're during that event in France, it was it's like when the stars align, you know, the stars align, and it just everything just built up, and like the way the bank was shaped after that huge swell, and like it became like a left bank, and it kind of suited my surfing, you know, and it was small, and it kind of, you know, so like a lot of the things that like happened, and you know how the waves were shaped and the timing of everything, the tides, it just really aligned to like what was helpful for me to win.
Yeah. Who was in the final with you?
Gabriel Medina.
Dinar.
Yeah, it was a wild final.
You just described the perfect conditions for Gabriel Medina.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, I got Gabby in my heat. This guy's gonna like for sure combo me. And that's paddling on to the final. The craziest thing was like I had John in the semis, and we waited all day to surf.
John.
Yeah, we waited all day to surf. They went on like a few day like hold. So the final was like.
Who was the quarters?
Who was the quarters? Matt Banting was the quarters, but it was like a couple days before.
Matt what?
Matt Banting
Banting.
from Australia. Yeah,
I
he was
remember
really
that.
gnarly.
good. He was really good.
Yeah, skinny.
Yeah, and at the time I was like, oh, geez, I'm in the semis. Like, oh, this is like insane. I've never made the semis. You know, I was stoked. I was like, this is cool. And we went on like a few lay days, and the final was supposed to be this day. The swell was supposed to show. We show up and it's flat. And we're like, wow, it's flat. We're just waiting around all day. I think Chloe was still going in the contest too because he was down at the event. And, you know, Chloe is like my childhood friend. Like, I know him since we were like 8 years old. And so it was cool just to like hang out. It just felt like we're kids again. Carissa's in the women's side. She's in the semis. Like, everybody, like.
It's your group.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we're all like kind of friends, you know? And it was like, just felt really cool. And John and Gabby, they're like kind of. Like superstars.
Yeah,
so they have like their own house, their own deal, and I'm like
Separate check.
yeah, separate check. They're like the superstars, you know, of the league. So it's hard. And I just remember the semis was like kind of good the way it's like for me and John, and I ended up beating him, had a couple good scores, and then the final came around and the bank was moving, and Leo Fioravanti lives right there on that beach. He came down, he's like, hey, I gotta tell you something. Don't go to that wave. If you go to that wave, it's gonna like peter out. The tide is dropping. Stay there. Go there. I promise you, like it's gonna be better there. Gabby's gonna go surf. He was like giving me a full rundown, like what the bank's gonna do, and I was like, well, I have nobody else like to listen to. Like I might as well listen to you.
Which happens at a lot of breaks, but there's huge tight
Tidal
there.
shifts, yeah.
And the sand moves so much there.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
sure
great
enough.
insight.
Can we go back to the semis though? So you're surfing against John,
yeah.
and what was that like?
It was cool because he was like, we grew up surfing kind of since we were young, so it was like, you know, John, and he was going for the title. He's the yellow
Yeah.
jersey guy, so he was going for the title,
And those are things that I like,
yeah.
to talk about because, he's John. He's got the yellow jersey on, and you're in the semis. You're not even supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even supposed to be there. I was
It's
in
your
last.
second year
I
on.
was last place on the ranking. I was literally 32nd on the rankings.
Yeah. So
insane.
like how?
And the talk was like, it was Wilco, Gabby, and John. They're all like battling for the title.
Yeah.
You know, they're all like chasing the title, and they're all like. So the whole talk was them. Like I was nowhere. Like
Yeah.
And what a bummer to go up against like John, who you're probably just a fan of, and
Hey,
local boy. But
at the
it's,
beginning of the heat, a
Yeah.
huge bummer.
yeah,
But if you win the heat at the end, it's insane.
no,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like
it was cool.
you
like,
just beat the yellow jersey.
Yeah, and it was like, the waves actually just was kind of like suited to my surfing. Fortunately, it was like kind of nice, and I was like, I think when you get to that point, you're like, when you have a challenge, you have to like step. It's like almost like you're going out of body. Like you have
Yeah.
to like surf outside of like your expectation, And I think that was like what I was like needed to do. And I think when you have challenges like that, like for me, I always like overcome like myself. I'm like, whoa, surf even better than I was supposed to, kind of thing,
And probably the pressure was off because the expectation,
Yeah.
So it's kind of
I was supposed to lose.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Like, that's a-
so now you're like,
yeah.
dude, I've already
Going
hit
back
the,
to
hit
John
the goal.
Shamuka.
Yeah.
Saying, what do you
Just
got to lose?
don't-
You got nothing
don't.
to lose.
Well, that and don't get in your way.
Yeah, and it was cool because he called me before on the finals day, and I was remember like waiting around because it was a later call. He's like trying to give me all this information. He's like, Shmoon, bro, I got this. Don't worry, I got it. I don't even know why I said that. Like I don't even remember. Like I was like, I got this. Don't worry. And I just like, talk to you later. I'll call you when it's all over. I was like, he told me that after. I was like, did I say that? I don't even remember like saying that.
So
Like
cool.
not, I just don't remember.
You're just like another call, another thing. Yeah, I got it. Whatever. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Winning a WCT contest again, that doesn't happen to a lot of people, right?
No.
So, and the fashion that you won it and the competitors that you beat to win the thing it's an impressive story, right? Like
Yeah.
John, yellow jersey, semis.
Yeah.
Check that box.
Yeah, it was cool. He gave me a big hug after too. He's like, hey, by the way, go win this thing. And I was like, yeah, right. Like, it was like the Goliath in the final.
Dude.
Like, I was like, okay, I'll try. But
Who is like, a samurai ninja in every contest like type of way.
and at the time too, I think he won the 2 years before that or something
Back
crazy.
to back, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's going for like the 3-time.
Repeat.
Those two are arguably two of the most like dynamic surfers in our history.
The most spontaneous, the
Yeah.
most different approach and
The most
drive.
diabolical.
They're diabolical.
Yeah.
One good, one bad. Now they're like, and that's the thing.
No, they just do shit that is like extraordinary.
yeah.
They're extraordinary fucking
Everything.
So
surfers.
good, yeah. They are
From
so
barrel
good
to airs to turns to like they're just special. They're
at every
very-
condition.
at every
Yeah.
condition.
And I have so much respect for them just because of how they changed our sport.
For
Our
sure.
generation of surfers, like they definitely molded it into a level. They leveled up our.
I'd like to
our
see
industry.
Yeah. Definitely.
what his winning percentage is in the final.
Cape,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
he probably wins 80% of the time.
Yeah.
I would say at least.
So that's why I'm trying to make this
Yeah.
point. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you beat a left-handed, a goofy footer at a left-hand surf.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you surfed out of your body, out of your mind.
Yeah, I had to because I knew I was coming up against like Gabby. And I was like, you know what? I just remember he went to go surf this way that looked better, and Leo was like, don't go there. It looks better, but it's not.
Halfway through the heat, it's gonna
Yeah,
swim.
and that's what happened. He was like, just stay right here. I promise you. And I was like, I have
You
nothing.
just got gold.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen. Like, so I just surfed my wave that he told me to surf, and then I got like a 5 or whatever. I don't remember.
And are you hearing the exchange?
Yeah,
of
I'm
like
just waiting for it.
his score.
9. I was just like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna
And
happen.
it wasn't
Like,
happening.
And it wasn't happening. And then I heard Charlie, his dad, just whistling and like doing all kinds of like stuff on the beach. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not getting scores. And then
Comes down.
he came down by where I was, and he already, I think, needed like a couple big scores. So then I think I had like a 7 and a 6. I forget what I had, but I had like some middle scores that were really hard to get because it was really hard to surf. And then we went to he went to the wave over there, and I went over there with him. And I just was like trying to just like get in his head, like frustrate him a little bit, just make him uncomfortable, like
Which is
forcing
really
him
hard to
like,
do and really rare.
And it's like there's like 5 minutes to go or something. I just kept like annoying him, just like shadowing him, making him uncomfortable, like forcing him into just whatever waves, you know.
Yeah.
And it's scary because he can go in one wave and do a huge air and get a 9, and then your heat's over.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think he got really frustrated. And this little right came in, and I remember this so clear because I was like, oh my god, there's like a minute and a half left. This little right comes, I'm like, oh, he's gonna do a huge air. I better go. So he takes off. He's deeper than me, and I went, and he like kind of got frustrated. He like kind of clipped my leg. And I like fully sold it. I was like, fuck. Like,
You had priority.
I had priority, yeah. And he clipped me because he was kind of mad, you know, because he kept like kind of like, I don't know. He was
Trying to juke. Yeah, trying to get.
So he like hit me like a little bit. I could have like, you know, shined it. I was like, oh no way, I'm using this. And I fell, and then
Judge it.
the thing ended up like there was like towards the way at the end of the heat, they announced that he had an interference.
Yeah.
And there was like 20 seconds to go, and I was like, oh, I win. I was like, I'm stoked.
Honestly, it could have happened to a better competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's the worst of those guys that use tactics,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
he's diabolical.
Yeah.
yeah. It was cool. Like, he gave me a big hug. And he was like,
Yeah.
congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Because me and Giro are actually really good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's,
dude.
like,
He,
really nice.
Yeah. And that's.
I've got respect for Gabe, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when he's a gnarly fucking surfer. Like, he does big turns.
He's a
and
freak.
He does big airs.
Everything.
He does everything.
Yeah.
In the most critical. When we were talking about the, and I don't want to make this about Gabriel, but dude, that blow for blow pipe Masters final against Julian.
Oh my god. Probably one of the best heats ever, yeah.
Pretty much,
That
right?
backside barrel that he just
But-
looked like he was gonna get sucked over and pitched.
Yeah.
Julian ended up winning, but you're just like, he won the world title that day, right?
Yeah.
But Julian ended up winning that contest.
Yeah.
But holy fuck,
yeah.
did those guys go blow for blow. Like,
Yeah.
like you go, no way!
Yeah, he's like,
No
oh,
way,
it only
he's
goes
gonna win this!
left.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No way! Like, you just kept going, what the
It's like
fuck?
a full heavyweight fight.
Well, like you never see him at back door really. He's always gonna go favor the, he's goofy. He's gonna favor pipe, and then like just packs it and comes out. Yeah, it's just he's very good.
He's a savage.
He's a savage.
He's a savage.
And
So-
people always like, oh, Kelly, like, or Gabe's got a bad rap, because
Yeah.
of his competitiveness and what he does. And I'm like, Kelly did that for 20 years before he came along.
Yeah, he just
They're
had-
like, wait, did you guys forget about like
Yeah.
Kelly was
Yeah.
even gnarlier? Like,
He's just like the prettier smile and nicer guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
oh, I don't know, dude. That guy's just a savage.
So boom. The horn blows. You're fucking got your hands in the
Yeah.
air. You got a magic board under your feet. Like, what are those? What was going through your mind when you just realized you won?
Oh, I like couldn't believe it. I didn't win a contest for maybe 8 years before that. So it was like a really long time. So like for me, it was like really special, And like
Yeah.
for being like at the bottom of the bucket and then to win a contest, I just was taking it all in, and like I just remember Andy won that contest, and I just was like, dude, this feels so special to me because my whole life I wanted to be like Andy, I wanted to surf like him. Like that was like a dream, and like just to like be in those similar similar location and stuff like that was a really special moment. And to me, like my good friends were there. Like Dusty was down there, Chloe cheered me up the beach. Like
I was gonna ask who cheered you
like,
at
how
the beach.
cool is that? It was the longest chair ever. I swear.
Those beaches
the
are gnarly.
wave moved down the beach. So then they had to set up a second podium. So the main podium was pretty far, and Chloe and Leo cheered me up the first half, and then Kano Igarashi and Ryan Miller cheered me up the other half.
That's
like,
sick.
Yeah, it was like it was the coolest thing, and like Carissa was there, and it just felt like my good friends were there for like somehow, you know, like and we're all there, and it just when everybody's like happy for you, it's like you feel like your lifetime achievement of doing something like special. It's like really, really cool, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's huge. What was the payday?
It was $100,000. I didn't even
100K.
know.
What?
Yeah, it was $100,000.
Wow.
I didn't even know until Joel Turpel was like, "Dude, house looks $100,000." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you want $100,000?" I was like, "No way." He was like, "Yeah, dude, you want $100,000?" I was like, "Holy smokes!" I was like, "That's awesome."
It's a lot bigger than my 17th checks or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's huge.
All those last place checks, it all made it worth
But
it.
they all, you know, they help pay for everything. But 100K, man, helps pay for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, helped me pay for a couple of years on the QS
Yeah.
afterwards.
Dude.
Yeah, it was a very special moment, and like,
How's that trophy?
oh, it's hanging in my house though. You know, it was so cool. It's like,
What is it?
It's like a little wave. Like a big
They always have
box.
some artists, like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
rendition of something
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Like to me, like I always like went to, like B Durbridge has like a sick house with like all these trophies, and I always like wanted to have like a collection of trophies. Like I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. You know?
Machados are all through his garden, like hanging out outside.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're all like, I don't know. There's one behind the tree over there. There's one over
That's
here
so
by the
rad,
rock.
yeah.
Like
It's
it's
just
like
cool, like how artists come together and make like these beautiful pieces.
was there some incentives on the sponsorship?
Yeah,
side too?
yeah, I got some incentives too, so it was like really nice to helpful, you know, financially to like
Yeah, because
receive that.
it's expensive.
That's a big payday.
Yeah, and the taxes were a lot of fun to pay at the
Yeah.
end too.
Yeah. So how does that work? Because I just saw that post about how much the Fijian government just took out of those guys' checks.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of that's another thing. Like taxes is like you're trying to do all these write-offs throughout the year, you know, but then you know the more you win, the more you got to pay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the thing, right? But no, it was good, and then like it was cool because Carissa at the end, like I got home and it was dark because it was later in the day. Nathaniel Curran drove me home because my car was packed full of crap, like boards and sand, and got home and they sprayed me like Nat Young and Ryan Miller and
Champagne.
yeah, I didn't get to pop champagne at the contest. I was so bummed. They said it was too late or something in the day that they couldn't pop champagne. So they poured me a beer, and then we went to dinner at the
It's on you, bro.
this Shinsman News place. I think it's like the clam place, and Carissa paid for my dinner, like me and all my friends. Like
Girls making
Dude.
Red Bull money.
yeah. She got the world champ money, so she like
Yeah, no, I got
paid
this.
for my dinner. Like she's the sweetest
So
person.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I never, you know, she's always like looked after me. Like even when we got older, she's
I mean, to
Like a
celebrate,
sister,
yeah, celebrate good times, but to also
Well,
be able
she-
to like pay is awesome.
Hey, dude, she owes you.
yeah,
You made her better, dude.
yeah. When we were younger, I didn't go to her prom. She asked me to go to her prom, and I wasn't home. And I think
She asked you
like,
to be her date?
Yeah,
That's
because we were
insane.
just friends, you know. And she was like,
I don't want to
at
go
the
with
time,
you.
yeah, I think she just was like comfortable with me, but I didn't go. I felt bad. I didn't go. So maybe I owe her. I don't know. I owe her.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe I owe her and her husband dinner now.
So, that, I mean, obviously that was the highlight of your career.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what?
Oh, the next day we drove to Portugal. First thing, cut my foot wide open. I'm on the like chopping block.
The
for
next
making it
day?
The next day, I had to drive to Portugal, and there was like barely any time for celebration. And I like surfing, hit my foot. The fin hit my foot, and I was dealing with this like huge hematoma on the bottom of my foot, a cut and stitches and all kinds of random shit. And yeah, I went from
Top of the world?
top of the world to just, and then I like lost back-to-back heats, and I fell off tour that year.
From
Yeah.
winning?
What the?
Dude.
Oh my
Fuck.
gosh.
Hopefully it was nothing.
Oh, I didn't hear a crash. I saw a lady in the.
Yeah.
Woo!
So,
Or,
Yeah.
okay, back up.
Yeah, so yeah, I won contest. The next day, cut in the foot, just like try to surf through it, but I lost. So it was like full, like the best day of my life to the worst day of my life, and then yeah, like things happen, you know, in the industry, and Fox kind of moved away from surfing a few months later. So it was definitely
that
like,
same year.
Yeah, that same, like I think like maybe a month after or 2 months after.
Fucking heavy.
So, you know, it's not like it was like the dream story where I like won the contest, got a big contract, this and that. Like it was, you know, won the contest, lost.
It was like
sponsorship.
a snowball of a bunch of
alarm
things.
They're
So
still here.
it was definitely like
Just look if they're still here. Don't worry.
really,
Because they'll
really-
do it.
I mean,
up and down, you know. And all in all, though,
See you back.
when I look back on it, like I wouldn't trade it in for the world. Like
for sure.
at the time, yeah, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I don't want like.
The contract side too is so stressful because you know you get a 1 year, 2 year, maybe a 3 year, maybe you know there's all these and then different sponsors. So everything you know you might sign a 3 year here, but this other sponsor's up next year. You know that shell game of you know trying to have some job security, and that sometimes most likely relies on you obviously making the tour, staying at this certain status, and it's so hard to you know in your career to just keep doing this. Like it's gonna be rocky.
Yeah.
And Fox they put a great effort and a lot of money into the team and the sport, and when they pulled out, it sucked for you and a bunch of guys.
Yeah, it was a tough time, you know, and yeah, it just felt like when it rains, it pours. You know, it's just like one stressful thing until another. You're like, oh no, it's never ending.
And was that you did a fell off reset? Did you get a new sponsor?
No, I didn't get a sponsor after that.
And
So
you're
after that, it was like hard yards, you know, that $100,000, like
stretched it.
Yeah, stretched it for a few years, you know, and helped me get through a couple of years of my desires and my investment to like try and get back up to it. You know? And then after that year, I spent the whole next year, you know, on QS and Challenger. And that year, I re-qualified and I spent another year on tour, but then ended up falling back off again. So I definitely had like a career that was like highs, lows, and ups and downs, you know, and it's okay. And I do think I look back on my like competitive career and being able to share stories or being able to like share my experiences, like not only for myself, but like maybe for somebody that wants to do it, you know, or somebody that's going through, fuck, I just keep losing, or you know, I just think like I'm a pretty good example of, you know, if you work hard, you can definitely achieve it. Because I wasn't the most talented, but I was very determined and I wanted it really bad, you know. And I just feel like my career is not only just for me. Like I feel like I can help others, you know, and I
inspire and guide,
you
know, people through their, you know, journey of pro surfing, right? Like, because it's
like just a kid from Emma Beach that got to experience and live out his dream is like,
which is huge.
Alone is enough for me to be happy and grateful, you know. Like,
So 16 was when you got first, and then you fell off the tour that same year.
Yep, fell off that same year, 2016, and then 2017 I did QS and chased a lot of events around the world. I won a couple. I won like Virginia, I won Barbados, and Australia. I won like a few events that year, which was super cool because I never won a QS before. So I won like a few that year, and then I got back on the CT that for 2018. I was spent on the CT. That year, me and my wife just got married in 2017, 2018. We went on like a year-long like honeymoon. Like we'd go to events and she just would come and we'd go spend the week after to go like enjoy this place, enjoy that place. So it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like knowing where you were, the struggles, it's like, dude, like who knows if this is my last opportunity or whatever, like you gotta enjoy it.
Yeah, I didn't have a sponsor, so I was like, I don't know if
So you traveled the world without a sponsor?
Yeah, because I won that 100K, so I kind of like dipped into that and invested in myself to like get back on the tour, you know.
No sponsor on the world tour.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Crazy. I know, like back in the day, like there's nobody that was unsponsored. And nowadays it's like there's a lot of
It's a
unsponsored.
lot of
Which is fucking crazy.
And that's just
So you went on the world tour with your board sponsor. That was it.
that was it. And Rockstar. Rockstar was
Okay.
a big supporter for me. So it was nice. And I had other sponsors like ProLight and just some other sponsors, Virtra, that would help me financially to, you know, support where they could. You know, and I wasn't making any lucrative like dollars or anything. You know, it was enough.
But a little
it
something.
was enough to like get
Yeah.
me to where I needed to go.
Yeah. And winning those of QS, you know, they're not 100K, but they do help. There's a big difference between, you know, quarter semifinals, even fourth, third place in a final versus first.
Yeah.
And what's really hard and it sucks about surfing is like just because you win contests doesn't mean you're gonna keep winning.
Oh yeah.
You know, like with other things like golf and baseball and like golf, not so much, but you can win more times as a golfer
Yeah.
than you can win contests. as a
Surfing,
surfer.
like the percentages of you winning contests on the surfer is
So
Yeah.
very minimal.
Yeah, and like you know, you did it, and then you did it on the smaller scale, and you're like, okay, your confidence builds, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know, it's always taking 2 steps forwards and then 2
Yeah.
steps back, right? Like,
Yeah. I feel like I took 2 steps forward and 5 steps back every time I did it. But no, it was, I think all in all, like I got to learn so much. And like how we were speaking earlier about being on the road is a really good way to
Learn.
get education. You know,
Yeah.
And I think I learned a lot of life lessons just through my experiences. And I'm like so grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff I could never purchase off the shelf, you know, and to experience it, whether it was the good stuff, the bad stuff, like it was all like learning, and I got to.
Yeah, it sucks when living in the moment at some of those times, you know,
Yeah.
because it's rough. But yeah, once you reflect later and be like, fuck,
Yeah.
I had it so good. Even in those like really down times, you know, you're like, oh man, I was in the other part of the world surfing,
Yeah.
getting paid to be there.
I
You
know,
know,
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
crazy to like look back and just, you know, be blessed and fortunate of like where, maybe you didn't get the wins you wanted, but look where you know, everything
Look where you
happens.
went.
Yeah,
The
look
world.
where you went. Look where the doors of relationships. You know, look where you know it's taking you.
Yeah.
But
So
man, it's that transition. I want to hear like you know you got a warehouse job in 2020.
Yeah,
so you fell off tour 19 or 18?
19.
19. And how was that downfall? Like what was?
It was like I did the first. It wasn't even as bad as the first time because the first time I was so close and I want to. It was like weird emotions.
Yeah.
Second time I fell off tour, I was kind of like, all right, you just get off and get back on. Like I'll do it again. But then that's when 2020 hit, and then it was really really weird because there was no events.
Nothing.
And that's all
Shut
I knew.
down.
You know, and I kind of shut off the lights of like being a competitive surfer at the time because there's no, you're not gonna surf a contest when there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
I did an event in China, January
Right
of
before.
2020, right before. I got second, and it was a pretty good event, you know, and I was like, oh, this is the perfect start to my 2020 campaign to like qualify for the following year. And that's where I was like dedicated to it, and then when COVID happened, it was like everything shut off, you know, and that's nobody's fault. It's just life, and you just have to adjust, and you know, whatever pitch gets thrown your way, you gotta swing it, whatever take comes your way, you know. And I worked at the warehouse at a net for, it felt like a year I was working there. It felt like, it wasn't a year, it was like maybe like 4 months, 5 months, but you know, I got to learn a lot of cool things. I got to meet different people, you know, people that work hard, you know, people that have families that do other stuff, you know, and I think it's given me so much humility into to what I appreciate in surfing, you know, and like I look back on it and like I got to do this job. Makes me appreciate like the job I used to have too, you know, and it was really cool.
So how long did you stay there, and what was the next?
The next
4
step
months,
after
right?
that was like, okay, 2021 was like, I'm having a kid, like I gotta pay bills, and Reynolds Hayes originally was like, hey, I got something for you maybe but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. And I was like, that's a killer. Thanks for saying that. I don't know. That doesn't make me feel any better.
He threw your name in a hat, but he didn't get confirmation yet.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I just let you know something might happen. I was like, all right. Sure enough, Chris Heffner calls me and he's like, hey, like we're looking for somebody to help facilitate with the younger kids and the bloodlines and doing this. And initially, I was like, man, like this is like a job.
Babysitting.
I like I wanna compete still, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, but I have no money. And I'm just like, okay, I was like, I don't know. And I talked to my wife. My wife's like, you're crazy if you decline this job. Like, this is something for you to give back, and like, you need to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I called Hef, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, how can I help? Like, put me in a position to where I can give back and help. Because you only do this for so long. Like, your competitive career is only so long. You know? I have a kid now. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, decline jobs so I can go do stuff for myself and compete.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Your
not,
mindset changes from
Yeah.
me to family.
Yeah,
family.
and I felt a calling to do that, you know. And for somebody like Hef and even Evan Slater and Mike Wallace to like accept me as that person to be responsible for that was like massive for me, you know. Like, it might seem small to other people or like to them, but it's given me life, you know, into like what I'm passionate about or like what I can do to help. And you know, I got to like help the kids at for Bloodlines camps and help develop their you know, competitive lifestyle or guide them, you know, and give them my experiences. And like, you know, it's funny how life works. Like, just, you know, we put in places that
Back to Billabong,
Mhm.
and they created a position, or it was a,
Yeah, they essentially made a position for me to kind of like help with
and it's called Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. Yeah, Bloodlines.
That's their
has-
drum.
Yeah, they take
Kind
the
of-
kids and you know, surf the waves of the North Shore, surf pipe and backdoor, stay at the Billabong house, and really like help them and guide them, coaching or you know, whatever it is, and kind of be like North America team manager and help facilitate in this region. And that was kind of where Hef had me, because he was taking care of like global team and a lot of the guys, right? So he needed, I think, some assistance with just everything, you know, in North America and on the ground, because he was traveling a lot at the time.
Yeah, it's a big brand, global brand, and they need Reynos in Hawaii, they need somebody in California or you know, North
Right.
America. Australia probably has their
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So, and you know, just for them to trust me in that like regard was just like a massive, you know, kind of appreciation.
Yeah.
Were the kids cool? Who
The
was
kids are cool. The
who-
kids are rad. It's like Kevin
little fronters?
Shannon Carr, Jackson Torrey. There's a lot of them there, and they surf so good, you know.
And
it's-
that was what, 21?
yeah, 2021, and the kids were just frothing. They just wanted to surf, and they
good to
wanted
be around that energy and
Yeah.
just, you know,
And it was just
little-
like made me happy to like help them, you know, and just like work with photographers and like to give back and like how can I highlight them? Like that to me was like the highlight of my time at the Bloodlines. It's like, how do I help them elevate their profile or their craft, you know? So that was
Yeah.
really cool.
That's cool.
I mean,
So-
Billabong's done such a great job of
Yeah.
like a lot of the big brands, you know, of cultivating the next generation and keeping that, you know, edge with the youth and stuff. And
Yeah.
every, you know, like I said, all the brands.
Well, it's in their best interest,
Yeah,
right?
for
To
sure.
farm the next, you know.
But they're not. You're not
Surfers.
reinventing anything. You're kind of, you know, doing the same things that the previous generation or
Yeah.
group of kids.
Yeah.
But
And
it's just giving them opportunity of like,
Yeah, and I do think it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, there comes a time and point in your life and career where it's like, you need to give something up to give back, you know. And even for myself, like, I'm not gonna go and continue to compete. Like, I have a family now. Like, if I can be as dedicated as I was to competing and surfing, if I can do that as a dad, like, I could be a good dad too,
Yeah.
you know. Like, I need to put that aside and close that chapter and now focus on my family and now I can pour into what is given me, you know. Like, if it's to help these kids at the Billabong camp, or like if it's to be a team manager here at Billabong, it's like, this is my opportunity to give back and like
Yeah.
help them, you know, and help them reach their goals. Like it's not about me anymore, you know. It's like about the next
Surfing's
generation.
one hell of a drug, and we're super selfish.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
like it's hard to give it up.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
time.
For most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some people, I mean.
And like it was cool. Like Chris Hefner, like I give him so much credit, and like I'm so thankful for
I don't
him.
think I've ever heard this guy. Chris
He-
what?
Hefner.
Hefner.
Yeah, he's been a
Do I know
Billabong
him?
for
Years.
25.
Yeah, he sponsored me
years.
as a kid, and then
Yeah.
he gave me a job as like a 30-year-old. Like to me,
Yeah.
like
But
he's
is
looked
he,
after me like my whole life.
has he been, Clarkey was the guy.
Clark,
Clark,
he was
there, yeah.
under Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, he worked with Clarkey, and yeah. So there's just a lot of, like I said, like there's so much good people that look out for me over the years. That
Yeah.
I'm just,
It's kind of like Eduardi Brad, like just started young and then like paid his dues with the drums.
Yeah.
And see, you might be running global team before you know it.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna go back to like how great and smart it is of these companies to hire guys like you,
For sure.
because, like I said, you're farming the next generation, right? You're helping, you know, and it's the Billabong logo that
Yeah.
is on those boards, and
You're
the better you are, the better they are, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now, like the position I'm in now is like, it's amazing. You know, like I got to work under Brad Doherty for a year, and he's giving me so much knowledge and just helped me. You know, and like getting to work for Billabong today is such a pleasure. It's an honor to work for a brand like that. And now I work a real job. You know, and it's cool. I appreciate it. You know, I get to work with really good people. Like that's what like fires me up every morning. Like,
in an industry that you know really well, with
Yeah.
a craft that you obviously know really well, and people
Yeah.
that you want to work with. So you're checking the boxes of what like a dream job is.
Yeah.
Like you're sponsored, but it's your career. You still do get to travel. You still get to
Yeah.
do a
It's
little
fun, man.
get to
It's
surf.
like-
This guy is gonna mix business with pleasure for a long time.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm just yeah, like the people I get to work with nowadays is just amazing, you know. We just went to the East Coast and we got to bring like Parco and
Dude,
our team, like they're just so fired up. It's so fun to like
Well,
be seeing
got-
them like excited.
we got fortunate enough for you guys to invite us to do the thing with Aki.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That was insane.
It was so fun.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
And then we did one here at Board Riders Cafe with Aton, who just keeps fucking blowing up.
Dude,
Yeah.
he just got a 100K check.
I know, it's insane.
for him.
I just watched a little
So
clip
proud of him.
of him winning, and it was so funny because didn't he win something else right before that, like some stab something?
Oh yeah, Stab High, he won last year.
Yeah. So the guy's on a roll,
He's on fire.
and he was on the whatever that one thing was, natural selection.
Yeah.
That was huge.
He's one of those guys in North America.
And the California, what do they call it? Stab Highway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Aton's just like one of our, you know, our main guys, and it's like it's really fun. And like being on this side of it now, like I get to like help them, you know, whatever they want to do and reach their goals. And if it's like highlighting this and creating something so that they can blow up, you know, like that's like what I'm doing now. And it's like, to me, that just makes me happy that like I get to help them, you know, and it's like, that's just what it's about, you know, and it makes me proud because I'm proud of these guys. Like Aton, I'm so proud of him, like how he's doing so well, and he gets to do these kind of things, you know, and he works really hard.
Yeah.
Like he has a lot of fun, but Aton works really, really hard.
He punches his board a lot.
He does. He does punch his board a lot.
And he goes big.
Dude, how was Atlantic Surf Park? Is that what they call
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It was super fun. The wave is really good. Dane got the barrel session, and me and Shuey didn't get the barrel session. So I had to talk to Dane the next time he can get me in the barrel session. I don't get barreled anymore these days, so
Man-made, regular, whatever, it's still cool.
Yeah. So no, it was super fun, and like our accounts were surfing so good. Like those guys rip, and it was
There's
so
a lot of good East Coast.
yeah, and it was so cool just to see like our team riders and getting to surf with some of our accounts and you know, I just feel like that's what surfing's all about. You know, those guys don't get to surf with them very often, so when you're trading waves off in a pool, like it's pretty fun.
I mean, Parco.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like Billabong is such a heritage surf brand, and it's still, it still does well for shops. It still kills it in surf shops, and the guys at Aki, Aton, like generationally, it still has the gnarly surfers.
For sure.
But it's events like that kind of, it's at a surf park, but it could be in the ocean too, right? Like,
Yeah.
But the event itself, it's so crazy how impactful it is, not just for the business, right? It's killer because you just stoked out a bunch of people that have supported the brand.
Yeah.
But it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and obviously everything kind of has like its ups and downs, and I think how do you make things better in where you're at, and I think where Billabong is today, with whatever challenges that have come over the last few years, like they're on a upward trajectory, and I'm excited to be a part of something that is so special.
Yeah.
We're doing, maybe there's no CT events, but like we're doing like grassroots events or like community events.
Yeah.
It's like more impactful, like in certain areas that
And it's
that
been missing.
make a difference. Yeah.
Since COVID, and I hate, we hate bringing it up, but there was a lot of marketing and money going into those grassroots styles, and then it just stopped. And the brands were like, well, maybe we don't need it because the numbers are still good. And then, so it's like, a lot of brands just got too comfortable and not having the staff that they they let go and then ramp up. And then, there's a lot of moving parts, but we need grassroots events,
Yeah. And it's just to see people's faces when, certain people come to, you see like hockey, like people are like rocks.
Fan out.
Yeah,
They
super
fan out.
fan out, like
because everybody just looks on a screen.
Yeah.
And it's like you stay up to date and you see all the hottest new clips or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you get to like meet and greet and slap a high five and have a drink or some food and surf a wave, whatever it is, like
that event at JS was so fucking cool.
yeah.
JS is awesome.
That was a killer party,
That place
and
is,
we were part of it. That was
it
awesome.
was so fun.
You guys,
it's been amazing. Like just being a part of where it's at today and the leadership that's at Billabong is like unreal. I know there's been challenges, but like to see the right people in the right place and doing the right things, even from the top all the way to the product like that they're coming out with, it's just, to me, it's in a really good place. And I'm very fortunate to be a part of it.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was the perfect ending.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me. That's been
Dude,
awesome. I'm stoked.
we're stoked.
It was a long one, but it was like too much time that we.
Only 2 hours and 16 minutes. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
No, we're just fans and we like cool people and we like
Yeah.
see people that do.
And any
Do
time
well.
that you want to include Late Night with Chalky
yeah.
for any events,
Yeah.
we're down.
We'll
dude.
hype it up
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be stoked to have you guys part of more.
because
Yeah,
it's
sure.
fun. I mean, like we're groms ourselves still,
Yes.
like we like going to these events. We
Yeah.
like seeing, it's a brotherhood. It's a camaraderie between, whether we're at different brands and we're selling the shops, we're still one big surf family.
Yeah, we're here.
Awesome.
We love doing this because we like to see our industry grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
or,
what it's all
or
about.
stay
man.
healthy, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and we're fans of the brands. We're fans of,
For sure.
And it's cool to get to know guys like you. Like we've seen you forever, but Dane,
Yeah.
Dane Jeffries is
Good
fucking
man.
awesome. Brad Doherty,
Yeah.
like we're all in such a small world and such a tight community
Yeah.
that
And it's cool. Everybody has their own story to tell, and
Yeah.
it's like it's so unique, and how they got here and how did we all get to this place, and surfing's a wild thing that
Well, you just won a QS event here because we got a goodie bag.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I got a goodie bag.
You
dude. Okay,
Oh.
first off, a little water bottle for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scotia Industries.
Oh,
So,
thank you guys.
Scotia Industries does all kinds of magnetic attachments for
Oh,
car,
I have a
phones.
speaker. From
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So the
Sick
speaker sticks right on top of that.
Oh, Oh, killer.
Your
Anyway.
phone fits on.
And your phone.
for your
Oh,
for your
oh.
TikTok reels.
Yeah.
We need our late night with Chalky sticker at the top, above the Billabong sticker at the nose.
Right.
There's photo incentive there.
Yeah.
Our friends own Makes Sense.
Makes sense.
You're a
You know, we can
other
still.
brand, but we're sponsored by Future
Oh,
Fins.
what?
So you can take that.
Thank you so much.
Give it to one of your
Um,
team riders or somebody, froth them out.
Yeah. Oh,
Take
this
out
is epic.
Skosh. Do you have a sunglass brand?
No, I don't have sponsors.
Dude.
I just work for the brand. I don't get sponsors.
I
We're
see.
sponsored by IC.
Oh, what?
IC sunglasses.
Yeah.
Get the
Hooking
full
you
house party
up.
special.
And you got a Ola Kitchen gift card. Take the wife out on a date right here. Get a
Yeah.
couple of tacos.
I owe you some bonsai bowl cards.
Oh, you guys are dialing me in way too hard right now.
Yep.
And then thank you to Earth Pack.
Murph Electric Bikes, clear weather shoes.
Foo Wax. I owe
Foo
you
Wax.
for some Foo Wax. What else?
And when's my? I need to come back on so I can get more goodies.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Anytime you got
There's
anything
damn
cool,
perks for this.
or you got an athlete in town, like hit us up.
Thank you guys.
You know,
Yeah,
for
set-
working.
Line up Parco next time he comes out. Whoever.
Yeah. We'll definitely.
We had
appreciate
Aton
it.
for that little brief.
20 minutes, 15.
Yeah, Josie and
Yeah.
Cheyenne, and that was cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an Aton project and we'll have you guys a part of it.
Boom. There we go.
That sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you guys so much.
Yeah,
I
that was fun.
appreciate you guys.